What's the only chemical element whose name is only 3 letters long? I'm at home. I can't answer the phones there. Casey, can you go to a caller for me, please?
Yep, we've got Derek on line 1.
All right, Derek. Morning, brother. All right, so what's the only chemical element whose name is only 3 letters long, please?
That'll be Rin Tin Tin.
Tin, sir. That is correct. Hang on. We're going to give you Black Adam on digital nearly 5,000 years after being bestowed with powers of gods and then immediately imprisoned. Black Adam is now free to unleash his unique justice on the world, and you can own that now on digital. I got a bunch of stories to run by you, so let's start with an incarceration. Todd and Julie Chrisley of Chrisley Knows Best received sentences in their tax evasion case on Monday. A week after their son Grayson was injured in a car crash, the pair will serve cumulative 19 years in prison.
Whoa.
So Todd has been sentenced to 12 years and 16 months in 12 years and then 16 months probation, and Julie was sentenced to 7 years and 16 months probation.
To be honest, I think that sentence is appropriate just for the amount of times I had to watch that Chrisley Knows Best commercial on the USA Network. It's a horrible show. I always suspected that they were up to something because they have, at least in the reality show, the few times I've seen it, this vast wealth. And I'm like, where the hell's that coming from? Well, now we know.
Yeah,
I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
So prosecutors wrote in a memorandum last week the jury's unanimous verdict.
I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
Sets the record straight. Todd and Julie Chrisley are career swindlers.
They are.
Who've made a living by jumping from one fraud scheme to another, lying to banks, stiffing vendors, and evading taxes at every corner.
So he supposedly made his money off of real estate, but that's clearly not the case.
So this comes after their son Grayson was hospitalized following a car accident last weekend. Tennessee police said that Grayson drove into the back of a Dodge pickup truck and was stopped in standstill traffic. No arrest or charges have been made in that particular case.
So she's
parents.
She's going to go to the prison where that Ghislaine Maxwell is.
Really?
Yeah, the Epstein associate.
Okay.
So it's a lower. It's obviously it's not Alcatraz.
Yeah, like a white collar prison.
Right.
Meet the Parents actress Blythe Danner has revealed to people that she is undergoing a private battle with the same cancer that killed her husband, Bruce Paltrow. Danner, who is Gwyneth Paltrow and Jake Paltrow's mother, was diagnosed with adenoid cystic carcinoma in 2018. She's now in remission.
Good.
She said everyone is touched by cancer in some way, but it's unusual for a couple to have the same cancer. After learning of her diagnosis, she said, I remember, looked up at heaven and said to Bruce, are you lonely up there? The I'll see you in my dreams actress added, it's a sneaky disease, but I'm fine and dandy now, and I'm lucky to be alive. So being in remission, good place for her.
I love her.
I like her too. She's a lot of fun. JoJo Siwa is getting more and more comfortable speaking out. And on Sunday, the former All That cast member spoke with people about Candace Cameron Bure's traditional marriage comments being rude and hurtful. She said, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize what an impact I really do get to have. She said, adding that she is learning that I have a chance to use my voice, use my platform for something good and to change the world for the better. The J-Team actress added that she and Bure have not talked and that she doesn't think that they will ever again. Have they ever talked in the first place? I thought this was kind of an online thing going on.
That's what I was, that's what it seemed to me. I didn't think they caucused a lot.
I don't know, but she said they have not talked and she doesn't think that they will ever again. So,
or ever.
I don't know.
Okay. She said again. That sort of indicates that they have talked in the past.
Yeah, that's why I was curious.
So maybe they both talked at the same time, but never to each other.
That could be it.
That could be
and
it.
just that's considering talk. Okay. Kendall Jenner and Devin Booker have called it quits.
No!
Yeah, I know you guys would be upset about that. Several sources confirmed.
Can't she find love?
That she and the Phoenix Suns guard ended their relationship last month due to demanding jobs. The source said both have incredibly busy schedules right now with their careers, and they decided to make that a priority.
That kills me. Did they just find out that they had demanding schedules? That this.
So.
Oh wow, it seems hard to get together.
I was thinking about the Jenners and the Kardashians and the number of NBA stars that they've gone through. And
oh my God!
Ben Simmons is in town tonight. He used to date Kendall.
Right.
James Harden is on the Sixers. he was with Chloe for a stretch, like Devin Booker. Like, there's all this cross-pollination.
There is. I wonder if, like, which family or starlet you could kind of go through and field the best basketball team of all time.
Like an NBA All-Star team.
Well, I think Kendall's got to be, up there.
If Kendall's got...
Well, she's had the most, I think, legit NBA talent.
Well, yeah, I don't know. James Harden.
James Harden
is an MVP.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. I guess they look at the NBA roster and call it the catalog.
It's got to be. And they're all so faithful, too. It's worked out so well.
An insider also revealed that the decision to end their romantic relationship was mutual and just came down to timing. And though Jenner and Booker do plan to stay in touch.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that nice? So there's hope, folks. Hey, this is cool. Amy Schneider claimed victory in the Jeopardy Tournament of Champions on Monday, winning the $250,000 grand prize. That's right.
It was great watching that. It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping, because I was enjoying it so much, that it went another day.
Me
but it was
too.
still very cool, and she did a great job.
3 really worthy contestants.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Any one of them.
Back and forth.
But she is just a powerhouse, dude. It's amazing. She defeated opponents Andrew He and Sam Buttery for the third time in the finals. It required a contestant to win 3 games to clinch a title. And Schneider and He were tied 2-2 with 2 wins each going into the 6th and possible 7th game series on Monday. Buttery had extended the series on Friday by securing his first and only win. The Tournament of Champions, which began October 31st, featured 21 contestants who won at least 4 games since the 2020 tournament, as well as winners of the National College Championship, the Professors Tournament, and the game show's first second chance face-off.
So now we return to another champion with a number of wins under his belt. You forget about that because they took the pause.
Right.
I think he's got, 12 or 13 under his belt?
He's a really good champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's back tonight.
The final round's clue in the category plays was the January 12th, 1864 Washington Evening Star reported on a performance of this dashing comedy to a full and delighted house. Butterly incorrectly guessed Our Mutual Friend and lost everything. He gave the correct answer of Our American Cousin, increasing his total to $17,001, but Schneider also correctly answered with the clue. And clinched the top spot after waging $13,000.
The big tragedy with that play is, Preston, that President Lincoln never saw the end of it. So he never knew how it ended.
Schneider is the first transgender person to win the tournament, by the way. Gary Oldman is preparing for retirement. The Oscar-winning actor, 64 years old, shared that he intends to wind down his illustrious career when he completes his run in the acclaimed spy drama Slow Horses.
And I watched the first season.
Horses so slow.
It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, when you read the description of it, it kind of poses itself as a comedy,
right?
And there are comedic moments, but it's not a comedy. I very much think it's a drama, and it's essentially.
Is it a spy drama?
Yeah, okay. He is the head of a house in MI6,
right? Horse division,
where they send all the quote unquote idiots.
I gotcha.
You know, the guys who have had utter F-ups in a regular either a training exercise or whatever, and for some reason or another. They're putting this in the Slow Horses house. And then, through that first season, you find out why certain people are brought there. And as it turns out, all right, maybe there's one guy who's kind of an idiot, but for the most part, it's more bureaucracy.
Complex?
No, it's bureaucracy.
Okay.
I
might want to check it out. He's always good.
He said, I've had an enviable career, but careers wane, and I do have other things that interest me outside of acting. He said, when you're young, you think you're going to get around to doing all of them, read that book, but then the years go by. He said he shared that while he has signed on for 2 additional seasons, by the way, Casey, of the Apple TV Plus series, he doesn't intend to work well into his years like some actors. He said, I'm 65 next year, 70's around the corner. I don't want to be active when I'm 80. I'd be very happy and honored and privileged to go out as Jackson Lamb and then hang it up. And that's his character, the slovenly alcohol-abusing intelligence officer leading a ragtag team of sideline MI5 agents.
He's become a big... Go ahead.
He himself is in recovery for alcoholism and says that it was, and I didn't know this, one of his famous co-stars who actually pushed him to seek treatment for his drinking. And it was Demi Moore, with whom he starred with in 1995's The Scarlet Letter. And she told him to go to rehab to address his drinking, which has led to many lost weekends in hotel rooms. And she told him, you're very ill, you have to go away. And so now he's 25 years sober, and he thanks her for pointing him in that direction.
I know he's a big proponent of Gorilla Glue, Preston, and wants to get involved with promoting that for the second chapter of his career. So, yeah.
Why not?
He's a big fan of epoxies and adhesives.
No way.
It is it's a good product. And if you're going to back something up, you're going to put your name on something.
It took a while, but he found it.
Got to make sure it works.
This is befitting my reputation.
Miley Cyrus is coming back to NBC to ring in 2023 New Year, and this time she's bringing her godmother, Dolly Parton, along for the event.
So we were just talking, Nick, you were talking about how the Pete Davidson, Miley Cyrus...
I watched it last year.
Right, was actually very good.
I was impressed by it. I thought it was paced really well.
Right.
And, you know, I'm kind of so-so on Pete Davidson, but he was good, and she was great, man. She, some really good performances, and if Dolly Parton's a part of this, I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good pairing to put together. Dolly is 76, Cyrus is 29. A lineup of to be announced musical guests will be coming. The show is produced by Lorne Michaels of SNL fame. And Cyrus said, Miley's New Year's Eve party is about to get glamorous and dressing your best. In a press release, Gene Neal, Executive Vice President of Entertainment Live, said the inaugural Miley Cyrus New Year's Eve party was an unqualified success. Know that this year's show will be just as spectacular with plenty of surprises and lots of fun, and we can't wait to get the party started.
I hate that notion of getting... I've done my fair share of getting dressed up for New Year's parties and going to do the big thing, and it's... While it can be fun, after a while, it's just... It's more hassle than it's worth.
Miami sounds more fun than New York, though.
Yeah. Oh, God. Times Square, I'd rather eat a bullet.
And they were out on the beach for the performance last year too. And there was, I don't know if you guys remember, but Miley Cyrus had a wardrobe malfunction.
Yes.
And whether or not that was purposeful or not, who cares? But yeah, and like it's out on the beach in a cool atmosphere.
So Miley will also take part in NBC's Dolly Parton's Mountain Magic Christmas, which is coming out on December 1st. And the festive show will also feature Jimmy Fallon, Willie Nelson, Billy Ray Cyrus, Jimmy Allen, Zach Williams, Tom Everett Scott, Anna Gasteyer, and Angel Parker as well.
So if Universal and or Disney don't want us to broadcast from those locations, do you think
Dollywood?
Dollywood.
Yes.
Totally.
Dude.
Why
Oh
not?
my God.
That's what we need to do. We need to give up on these other dreams
Yes.
we have and pick something like that.
We have to realize, like water finds its own level, we don't rate a Universal. We don't rate it. But I'll give you, Dollywood is considered a very competitive theme park.
Yeah.
And maybe they're looking for the kind of audience that we could bring. Possibly.
Not a bad idea.
Dollywood.
That is not a bad idea. All right.
it.
Couple more quick things. Following rumors about Indiana Jones 5 featuring a digitally de-aged Harrison Ford.
I don't like that.
After the actor was spotted wearing motion capture dots on his face during the production of the
hate
movie.
these dots.
We now have confirmation of just what exactly
I feel like an idiot.
that will entail. As any fan of Indy knows that the movies need to have an explosive opening sequence. And for Indy 5, I think they're just going to do it for the open. Not that. He's on the toilet.
I'm very old.
For Indy 5, the solution was simple, though. A set piece was drawn up that pits Indy in a castle in 1944 surrounded by Nazis. With this film, the first not to be directed by Steven Spielberg and produced by George Lucas, incoming director James Mangold has a lot to live up to, including that opening sequence, and the Logan director has come up with a novel idea, take Indy back to his prime. Apparently, the producer, Kathleen Kennedy, said they found the footage. This was a thing they shot 40 years ago. We're dropping you into an adventure, something Indy is looking for, and instantly you have that feeling, I'm in an Indiana Jones movie. So I think they're taking pre-existing footage, and they're going to put him in for the opening sequence, Steve.
So, okay.
Digitally put his face
The
in.
Crystal Skull took place in the 50s, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. All right. So okay.
Early 50s.
Right.
yeah.
Right. All right. We'll see.
So they're probably just doing a flashback at the beginning, you know?
Well, he's a good director. I love Logan, and we'll see if I hope this, since this is going to be the final chapter of the Indiana Jones storyline for Harrison Ford. I hope he goes out in style.
By the way, for
And it's
Harrison
not
Ford,
just
he
him
said-
going to the early bird special.
Yeah.
The feeling of seeing his younger self on screen was uncanny, but the actor admits that he was utterly convinced by what he saw. He said, "This is the first time that I've seen it where I believe it." He said, "It's a little spooky. I don't think I ever want to know how it works, but it works." Not that he's pining to return to the time of the original indie movies. He said, "Doesn't make me want to be young, though. I'm glad to have earned my age." So it's going to be opening on June 30th.
Did you ever see The Irishman? Where they de-aged Pacino and they de-aged De Niro, and they use this technology fairly liberally, and it kind of works, but it's disorienting. There are scenes where you find yourself like looking at their faces, and it throws you off. And I remember one of the interviews we're talking to Scorsese, and he was saying he had to remind De Niro to walk like a 35-year-old as opposed. In his cadence was not the same. Was not the same energy. So all those things figure into it.
All right. I think we're ready for the clips. And I think I left them on my printer upstairs.
Do you want to go up?
Have them.
Well,
you guys want me to run upstairs?
Can you get us a Pop-Tart while you're up there?
Yeah.
See how long it takes them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Case, you want to do the setup instead?
I don't have the setup either, so.
Why don't you call up to Rochelle and see if she can read them to you?
All right. I'll run upstairs. You guys want me to hang on?
Yeah.
Just set a time.
I'll be right back.
His pajama bottoms. So we're in Preston's basement, which has a really nice.
There he goes.
There he goes.
I have the timer going. Let's see how long it takes.
Yeah, see how long it takes.
Like he's a 3-year-old. Go upstairs and get Mom.
Go get them now. You cannot do it unless you have your preparation.
I actually can't believe how that still works sometimes. Like Jason's 11, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna time you.
Really?
Go,
Oh,
yeah.
God,
Go
yeah.
upstairs and get my.
He got it.
23 seconds. It
23
took you,
seconds,
Preston.
man.
Preston, it took you 23 seconds.
That's not bad.
That's a new world record, I believe.
It is. It is. Actually, yes. It's an inaugural world record.
By the way,
All right,
you can
clips.
watch Preston's pajama pants on our YouTube channel.
Did you see my pajama pants?
Yeah.
You're so lucky you're in pajama pants.
I know. It's awesome, Kathy. It's awesome. All right, clips. Here we go. Welcome to Chippendales. The story of an Indian immigrant who becomes the unlikely founder of a mail review that becomes a cultural phenomenon. In this clip, we have Kamal Nanjiani explains that he's not playing a Chippendales dancer despite being ripped. Hit it.
They're also disappointed, which is surprising to me. I'm like, you don't want to see me do that. But people do assume that I'm going to be on stage dancing without my shirt, and I'm so grateful that I am not. And I swear you should all be grateful for that.
Your balls are showing.
Welcome to Chippendales is available on Hulu today if you would like to see that. Here's the next clip. While attending Nevermore Academy, Wednesday Addams attempts to master her emerging psychic ability in the new series Wednesday. And here, star Jenna Ortega talks about meeting Christina Ricci ahead of playing Wednesday Addams. Here we go.
I think she's somebody that I've always had a lot of admiration for from a very young age. I've always kind of looked up to her in a sense almost. So I think that I was just kind of interested in getting to know her, not necessarily for, to talk about Wednesday or anything like that.
I don't give a
Wednesday is out tomorrow on Netflix if you would like to see that.
It's out on Wednesday.
It is?
Yeah, that's
I think
perfect.
they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That's what I have in the entertainment report for you this morning. So if you're just tuning in, I'm at home. Test positive for COVID. Feel fine. It's all good. Rochelle feels worse than I do, but she's on the mend. And so we're dealing with that. But other than that, business as usual. We got a couple of guests on the program. We will have Connor Barwin checking in. There's an event coming up he wants to make us aware of. And we're going to have Ralphie, Peter Billingsley, on the show this morning. A Christmas Story Christmas is out now. You can watch that. It's on HBO, right?
HBO
Plus?
Max, yes.
Or HBO Max, sorry. So we'll talk to him around 9 o'clock or so, and we'll see what else is going on in the world. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a second, so stay with us, my friend.
I was trying to tell you, it's Tattoo Tuesday. Text the word tattoo to 39333. I was trying to tell you that. Sorry, Preston.
Okay.
I thought he was just showing you his
You can
nipples.
just tell me. Yeah. All right. Text that now. We'll get a winner by the end of the program. Now, can we take a break?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
On 93.3 WMMR. The new and improved MMR app is out. It's faster, better organized, yet
Pay-per-view shows. And so I would go from my independent wrestling show
To Raw?
to the pay-per-view show and
Wow.
then drive to Raw the overnight and do the cruiserweight division. And then later on in the year, I was able to earn a full-time contract. They started up 205 Live, which is still going on today. And that was their first like experimental streaming show that they created based on the cruiserweight division. So like I got in at a very cool like where technology meets wrestling and everything grows. It's very historic. Very lucky.
Let me ask you. So we know Vince McMahon is the muckety muck, but I mean, there's now so many tendrils to this world. Is there a second person who's like, you know, the who he can delegate to, who's the overseer of all this? Because it seems like it's just too damn much for Vince to be, you know, checking everything all the time.
So that's the one thing that I don't think you could ever say to him is that something's too much for him.
Right.
Yeah, so he's very much like still at all the shows and running the shows and sitting backstage and doing that. And then NXT, which was originally developmental brand and has now become the third brand for WWE. They have a show on USA. That's run by Triple H.
Okay.
And he's kind of doing what Vince did there with that show.
All right, so how many nights of programming is there a week with WWE? And all the
across
tendrils,
everything. I would say 6 or 7 right now, like per week.
And they're in all like.
Let's list them. So we got Raw, that's on USA Network. We got NXT, which is on USA Network. We got SmackDown, which is on Fox. Then secondary shows, we have NXT UK, which is in the UK, and that's now on Peacock. 205 Live, which is on Peacock, and then we have WWE's Main Event, which is like a pseudo recap show, and then some exclusive matches. I'm featured on there quite a bit.
Right.
That'll be on Hulu.
And then
I think that's
pay-per-views once a month.
And then pay-per-views once a month. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a machine. That's a ton of entertainment, man.
Yeah,
That's a ton of stuff.
Plus NXT has their own pay-per-views too, so those are happening I think 6 times a year.
And they're in different cities every like.
They will be going forward. Yeah.
Oh man,
just talking about all this has made me hungry.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get to that, Preston.
We have to.
That's why this man is here.
Marissa is now going to bring in my edible charcuterie board that drew the attention of Drew Gulak, and we are now going to sample this. Here it is. I don't have any fanfare music or anything like that, but
all right, Case.
Oh, you know what?
Here we go.
Marissa, can I get a knife to cut the brie, please?
Yes, to cut the brie. That's probably something you hear a lot in wrestling.
Is for cutting this. So I'm going to let Drew sample this. And actually, you're supposed to just kind of like grab it and tear it. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I put this in the fridge overnight. It probably would be better if it were fresh.
Fresh off the grill.
Yeah, fresh off the grill, exactly. So,
Drew, that can be your catchphrase, your new catchphrase and phrase. Somebody get me a knife so I can cut the brie.
Cut the brie.
No, but I do like fresh off the grill.
I like fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill, brother.
We start
I added a little Hulk in there, but
this bread has all sorts of little cheeses in it.
And what did I call the honey divot?
Where's the honey divot?
Charcuterie. All right, so I'm gonna
Let you have to have the first taste.
A little corner, you can grab some cheese or meat, and this is honey that you can dip it in.
Is that the honey divot?
I think Casey said he wanted to feed me.
I did.
All right. Well, maybe that happens.
Not the first bite, though.
No, he has to. A man has to share alone time with his
I don't want to.
charcuterie.
All right, so what do you recommend?
Distracted. I would go with the piece of bread, a piece of brie, just to start with, and dip it in the honey. So
You grilled this.
Yeah, grilled it.
That's amazing.
So grab a little piece of brie there. You can tear off some of that if you want
Get
to.
in there.
And then
You said some honey?
Yeah, dip it in a little bit of honey there.
Okay.
Okay, while he's doing this, it's bothering me. You know when someone reminds you of somebody but you can't figure out who it is? It's another athlete.
Dornbos.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah. He reminds you of Dornbos?
Yes, it's the way he speaks.
Okay, he's got a bite. Is it a little crunchy? Or yeah, because you got a corner piece. So.
You picked the crunchiest part.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we have breakfast of champions right now.
Now Casey's going to, I think he's going to feed
This is beautiful,
drew
man.
a piece of it. Yeah, because they went on social media about this.
Okay.
Casey had said he would like to feed him a piece.
Maybe a little less crunchy.
Something that won't blow his teeth out of his skull.
The corner's very crunchy. I apologize.
No, it's good, man.
I went a little long.
Good.
You know, Casey gave an enema to Ric Flair once, so this is
That's where the woo came from.
that's where the woo.
All right. So you want some meat?
Yeah, give me some savory.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
That the
from
woo came from
enema
that.
for Casey.
All right, yeah, a little prosciutto.
Yeah.
I would recommend this cheese right there. That's called Prima Donna. It is a Gouda. It is fantastic.
Okay, prima donna.
And you can either go with the honey or not. It's up to you. So
Good.
All right, Case, make this matter.
That's a big piece.
He's
He's a big man.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Buddy.
All right, he is
No,
now-
Case, do the plane.
Yeah.
Do the plane.
Yeah, can I get an airplane?
Who's a big boy?
From the top row. From the top turnbuckle.
From the top turnbuckle all the way into Drew's
That's a
mouth.
first.
So yeah.
So this thing is so it looks so good. I got to try some.
When we get into the break, you guys can have at it. I made it for here. We can. The staff can help themselves.
Drew, how's your barbecuing and cooking?
Give him a minute.
Is this something you think you could tackle?
We need some water.
Yeah.
Buddy.
No, that's good. So, yeah, grilling. I know nothing about it.
Okay.
But so I just bought my first house. And, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Where's home for you, by the way? Now.
So right now I'm in Orlando, but I
Okay.
come up to Philly as much as I can.
On the auto train.
Yeah, I just take the auto train up there on the gyrocopter.
Right. The Vince McMahon gyrocopter.
the Gulag copter.
Yeah.
So yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, so you just got a house. That's cool.
Yeah, we just got a house down there.
And are you married?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife Liz.
Any
Yeah.
kids or
No kids.
All right.
Did you ever see an alligator in the wild?
Casey is obsessed with actually seeing an alligator, not at Gatorland.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, dude,
out and about.
So the only thing we wanted to do since moving down there is like, where are the alligators? See 'em? The only time I've seen one, we visited Kennedy Space Center, and they're just on the side of the road.
Oh.
You spend enough time, you will see your share of gators, and they also have the snakes and the.
I saw one at the airport. I mean,
Yeah.
they have actually have these ponds out
Yes,
there,
yes.
and I've seen them out sunning themselves. But
My
Casey
wife
says
didn't
that
believe
doesn't
me.
count.
She
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. I want to see a giant one on the side of a. So we went to Rocco's Tacos one time, and there's like a giant lake behind there. And I went out, and it was at night. And my friend was saying, if you usually you can see their eyes like glistening in the night and stuff. I couldn't even see that. It was cold though. It was a little cold.
Yeah, it was a little chilly.
All right. So we have to get the rating 1 to 10 on the charcuterie baked board. What are you giving it?
That's a 15.
A 15!
That's a 15.
All right, excellent.
Somebody get me a knife so I can cut the breed.
Well, listen, Drew, this is awesome to meet you in person.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you for having me.
And you're
man.
back in town from time to time, so we'll find a reason to hook up again, I'm sure.
Please, anytime. This was great.
And especially if...
Oh, do you all still say, hey, bitches?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
If you want to, go ahead, say it.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what?
and maybe if, maybe Monday Night Raw, you'll be back at home performing.
Philadelphia hasn't been announced yet for a tour, but I'm sure it'll be announced sometime in the near future.
That's awesome.
Usually once a year.
Yeah,
we
once or
get
twice,
it. So,
yeah.
excellent. Awesome. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming by, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
Let's hear it for Drew Goulet, guys. WWE wrestler, fan of the Preston and Steve Show, and a Philly hometown guy. I love it. The first time Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum met, she called him out for wearing Crocs. The two actors met while teaming up for Kravitz's directorial debut. Have you heard of this movie? It's called Pussy Island.
No.
Yeah.
I like it.
The Magic Mike star told Deadline, I totally loved Crocs for a hot second, and in one hang, she was like, you can't ever do that again. And I said, okay, fine.
Okay, so the bigger question is, what's the plot of Pussy Island?
I think it's not what you think it is. I think the name...
About vaginas?
It's not that.
Oh, okay.
It's something else. At least that's what I read a blurb. I didn't go into detail about it, but I heard it's not
it's
supposed to be vulgar.
Like Lord of the Buttholes.
There you go. It's pretty much the same story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of the conch, they blow something else.
Exactly.
Right. Kravitz insists that she was just trying to be a good friend, adding, there are people out there who can pull off the Crocs thing. I just wasn't sure you were one of them.
Didn't we just hear, though, that the Crocs have come back into quasi-fashion?
Maybe, but I mean, if anybody could pull them off, it's Channing Tatum. You know, that guy can wear whatever he wants, and it'll be fashionable.
Marissa is scanning to find out the plot of Pussy Island, and I can't read that. It's too tiny. Hang on a second here. Frida is a young, clever Los Angeles cocktail waitress who has her eyes set on the prize, philanthropist and tech mogul Slater King.
Slater King.
When she skillfully maneuvers her way into King's inner circle and ultimately an intimate gathering on his private island. She's ready for a journey of a lifetime. Maybe it does mean pussy.
Is this kind of like a Jeffrey Epstein thing?
I don't know.
Impossible.
I do not know.
Vagina.
What would it be harder to lick the inside of my ear or the inside of my belly?
No, belly button.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about butthole?
Just set. No.
Okay.
Oh my God, no.
Well, honestly, it's just a common thing. You ask anybody at work. Would you mind licking my butthole? I'm sure that's being asked in every business. But I mean, that's just simply for a scientific test.
No, somebody recently told me that guys love that.
No,
that is incorrect.
Listen, there may be some that dig that.
No, I do not.
Yeah, I know. We
She
know
goes,
why.
they'll go wild.
What?
No. Who said that?
I swear to God.
Who?
All right, write it down.
Diane, your wife.
Oh, how dare. Because I thought it was Jerry. I thought it was your mom.
Yeah, your mom who won't let you come out of the bending.
WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. A variety of things to pass along to you this morning. So I believe the stream of consciousness now is what I've become on.
Exciting.
Or were you going to go to the general store, Casey? I don't know.
No, you know what? I completely lost track of where your stream of consciousness and your music is.
We have to have an official theme.
No, we do.
Because all these segments are so different.
They are. There you go. These are things that just rattle off the top of my head.
Stream of consciousness.
Yeah, so I saw this interesting story. Casey, are you familiar with a guy who plays for the Vegas Raiders, a linebacker named Blake Martinez?
Yes, I do. I'm not super familiar with him, but I follow the NFL, so I am familiar with that name.
All right. I do not follow the NFL, so I'm not familiar with this guy, but I did read a story about something about him that I found interesting because he retired mid-season. Okay, he's 28 years old, could have more of a career left. But apparently it wasn't because of a career-ending injury or anything like that. He wasn't released. He decided to hang it up because he's making enough money selling Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards have
What?
eclipsed his NFL career?
Come on.
Yep. And he recently sold a very rare card for nearly $700,000.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
It's still a thing.
apparently Jace has a pretty rare card. He was never.
Is it a Dwight Gooden?
He was never into Pokemon. He never really got into it. One summer, it was like a couple summers ago, the kids used to take their cards to the pool and they would put them in these binders. And so he was like, I have a couple of packs. Can you get me a binder? We put it together. We bought a little more. He did absolutely nothing with them. But now, and I don't know how true this is, but somebody has told him that the one card he has is very rare and that he should hold on to.
Is there a dollar amount associated with this?
I don't know because I don't know anything about it. He just keeps telling me we have it. It's sitting in the binder, and
It's my retirement fund.
I have to look more into it. I guess maybe I'll.
There was a stretch where Ben was into it, Kathy, and it was probably like 2 or 3 years. And Steve, there would be occasions where like he would sit down and try to explain it to me.
Right.
Good Lord, I had like Pokemon, like you can super upgrade certain Pokemon to become other Pokemon.
It's very complex.
And
my
they all
eyes
have
roll
names
white.
and they have names like Charizard and then Super Charizard and whatever the hell else. And I had no idea what he was talking about. However, Kathy, there were cards that he valued more than others, and part of the reason why he valued them more was that he told me that they were rare. I don't know if they're worth anything, but that's that was from the mouth of a 7-year-old.
No, and I believe what was the story, Preston? I think you reported on it. It was a guy who converted he converted his crypto to Pokemon cards or something like that.
Seriously?
So, like massive investments. I mean, where they'll have like complicated break-ins to steal these cards from collectors. That's how valuable they are.
Yeah, and those things, they won't decrease in value, right? I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, maybe if Pokemon has some sort of sex scandal, it'll decrease the value. Hey, I just found out that Logan Paul wears a Pokemon card around his neck It's worth $2 million.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's what douchebags do. So there you go.
Weird.
So $2 million?
Yeah, I guess he's got it maybe golden encrusted or something along
Do you know what they
those
say?
lines.
They say it's worth whatever someone will pay for it.
That's right.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Which is, that's beyond me. How things like that end up advancing in worth. Baseball cards and things like that, I can understand. You know, it's a limited amount of them available. A legend at a certain time in their career, things like that. It's a timestamp,
Right?
But for playing a game, this is only valuable because the creators made it so that it has a certain amount of power, you know, within the game. I don't know. I have no idea.
There's certainly control. Hell, I don't know. All I know is that there are people who almost live in this world. So it's part, that's their reality. I mean, they play this all the time.
Let me ask you then. So the creators, not only of the characters, but of the cards, don't they sort of have it's like insider trading almost. Like they can create, all right, we're only going to make 5 of these cards. I'm going to keep one.
They can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't come out of the box worth $2 million, does it? You know what I mean? They don't make this card, create this character, and go, okay, we're putting this for sale.
But they can make
for
sure
$2
that
million.
somebody is making sure that that card is rare.
They can massage it along, so they can say, okay, this will be a limited edition. You know, of course, it's not. To me, it doesn't seem as wise an investment as Batman figures.
But
Now that's where you put your money. But even in that case, the things that I have, a lot of them are limited. You know, so I think what they'll do on these Pokemon cards is they'll obviously issue a limited run, and that jacks the price up.
I have an update on the Logan Paul card. Apparently, he bought a bunch of fakes. And they were not worth anything. It was G.I. Joe junk, and it was he lost nearly $4 million on it, $3.5 million on cards that did not have that value.
Very savvy investing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Harsh. Wow. Well,
That's
this guy's
why
retiring, man.
I had
He
the Mona
retired.
Lisa in my living room, Preston, the Mona Lisa, and I think I got taken for a ride. So
Yeah,
Well, this guy is retired. Has retired, and he's going to sell Pokemon cards. Yes, Case.
No, I was gonna say, I saw that. Like, he's kind of like a mid-level linebacker. I think his salary, and it's nothing to sneeze at here, but for professional athletes, he makes $1 million a year. It's also a really, really physically demanding position, linebacker. A lot of
so is Pokemon.
Yeah, no, but it's so if he's like, you know what, I can take my. I'm not making that much money, comparatively speaking, and I can, make almost my whole salary selling cards. Okay.
Without getting beat up. And potential,
Well, also their team sucks. So he's like, there's no chance they're going to make the Super Bowl, or the playoffs this year. So
That is wild.
I mean, but still, even if you're minimum level in the NFL, you're a player. We see that. I mean, that's the holy grail. You're in the NFL. You're a player. You've the American dream. You got it.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go sell Pokemon cards.
Could you see yourself living in a world where you what would you collect or invest in? Or, I mean, we're looking at the wall behind you. You have some collectibles that are obviously near and dear to you. Would you?
Yeah, it's all sentimental stuff.
Right. Could you see yourself getting involved in is there anything that holds that much fascination with you? Where
Not
you could
really.
See yourself,
Like being an art, collector
right.
or
rock
something like
memorabilia.
that. Yeah, no, I think it's a bit too much work, and I'm covetous of people who have these unbelievable like that one. I don't know, I forgot what sports team the guy owns, but he bought like Ringo's drum kit.
Oh, yeah,
all these, that is amazing to me. That's owning your own museum of sorts would be pretty amazing. Yeah. So. But no, it doesn't. As far as like investing and making a living out of it, no.
Yeah, and at a certain point, like you enjoy having them, but what do you do at a certain point? It just sits there. And, you want to be able to share it.
All right,
like my Knight Rider collection.
Yeah.
Other things from my stream of consciousness, nerd. Let's talk about divorced men being appealing to single women. According to a study, yes. And apparently, there's some science backing up why women are attracted to divorced men. The reasons, number one, divorced men have demonstrated they can commit.
Okay.
Okay.
They can commit, but
All
just
right.
not for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not that long. Divorced men are experienced communicators.
All right.
Or that's the reason they're
divorced-
divorced.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, are these
Divorced
single women
men-
so hard up? Like, what's going on here, man?
Well, I think what it's demonstrating, at least in a at a period they could do that, and so I think that's the enticement. I think they have. I think it goes to that. They have exhibited, and Nick, you represent this here, the willingness to have at one point made the full commitment.
Yeah, I'm going to commit to you for about 10 years, and then we'll figure out what happens
And
after
then we'll
that.
renegotiate.
And I'll
Talk to my agent.
I'll communicate well for a little while, and then
I'll withdraw.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, these are the perceptions that they say that that women might have for divorced men. Divorced men deal better with conflict.
Yes.
Unless they were very conflictive in nature, and that's why they got divorced.
Well, look at OJ.
Divorced men are more likely to be in shape, but not too in shape.
Mm-hmm. So they're attractive to other women. They're more likely to collect Pokemon cards.
Divorced men are probably more mature, according to this study. That's what it says.
Right. Unless they work in radio.
Divorced men are more likely to have children already, proof of their fertility.
All right.
Which all humans are drawn to, apparently.
I got swimmers.
And number 7, divorced men don't believe in the one. They've learned that they have to work on themselves, so they stop looking for Ms. Right and start looking for women who make them happy and with whom they share common interests.
Yeah. Listen, this is just whoever wrote this is trying to put divorced men in a better light than what they traditionally are seen as. Like, it didn't work out. It failed,
Yeah, who's behind this study?
A divorced guy.
Yeah, Divorced Men University.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think there's some credibility to some of these aspects.
I will say that after I got divorced, there was a stretch of time where I was an eligible single dude, and the fact that I was divorced, I don't know if it hurt me or helped me or whatever, but like I felt pretty comfortable with myself for a stretch, and that took a little while post divorce, and then it's it's like a kind of a conversation starter sometimes. You have something to talk about. It's like, yeah, my last relationship didn't work out, and here's why. So at least you had things to talk about with people.
Do you think it's as much as what you exude as what you're putting out there?
Yeah.
As
that took about a year.
Okay. Yeah.
You end up crying on some people's shoulders.
By the way, the getting in shape portion of it, Preston, can go either way. You can either be so depressed you don't eat at all, so you lose weight, or you get so depressed that you eat way too much and you gain weight. So I did the former and lost a decent amount of weight after I got divorced. But yeah, I mean, I've seen both ways.
Yeah. So, but apparently, I was not aware of this. There are a sector of women who are attracted to divorced men, and that this study shows those are the reasons.
Does it work the other way? Any indication that men are attracted to divorced women?
It's a good question. I haven't seen. This is only one side of the gender study, so I don't really know.
Not.
But
all the guys are like, oh God, I want nothing to do with her kids. Yes,
she's got a lot of kids. She's been with another man who's probably better hung.
No thanks.
Yeah.
It's so wild to look back in history, and by that I mean like old movies, TV shows, and things like that.
Old-timey.
About what a scourge it was to be a divorced woman.
Oh yeah.
In the 1950s, 1960s, at times like that it was considered almost an embarrassment, a scarlet letter of type.
Do you remember that Happy Days episode? The divorcee, they called her hot to trot.
Yeah, totally. She's a whore.
I wonder in the back of the mind of the single person about to date the divorcee, like, do I really want to get, like, what's the ex like? Do I really want to get involved in something where, I saw a video.
He does commercials for Hertz.
I hate this on Twitter, but it ended up in my feed. This woman got her ass kicked by her boyfriend's ex-wife. Like, I guess maybe they were at the same, it was like they were at a Little Caesars or something like this. And I mean, she was just getting stomped on. Who knows the reason why, but it's like, you know what? I think we're going to break up now because I don't want that to be a part of my life.
Yes. You bring that luggage.
Yeah. No, I remember, and this is not a divorced situation, but I was in my early 20s, and this older woman approached me. She was married, and she made her intentions very clear that she was interested in me.
Wow.
She was married and wanted to like arrange a hookup, a meetup and stuff. And here I am in my 20s. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is incredible. Oh my God. This is every fantasy coming true. And then reality hit, and I'm like, wait a minute, dude.
Yeah.
She's married. This could end with me 6 feet under the ground.
Yeah, this could end with you.
No way I am going into this.
Hey, lipid pants.
But even when there's a divorce involved, that's something to be considered as well. Is there a psycho ex?
Yeah.
Because apparently things didn't work out.
Am I going to end up jumping out a window in my underwear?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Which would be a great story to share down the road.
Right, unless you're hunted down.
I think I've told you guys this before, but like in my family, for whatever reason, if somebody gets divorced, the person who's leaving the family doesn't actually leave. Like we still see and
exes stay within the
family, and I think it's mainly because in most
now you can't leave.
Well, no, in most situations
now you just can't leave.
No, in most situations, the two who are getting divorced, it's not like they're not fighting and beating each other's current partner up and stuff like that. So they're friendly. So in turn, we everyone sort of stays friends with them. But I mean, for years my uncle's ex-wife
just the paperclip.
No, a different one. Would come to holidays. She would spend Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving with us.
Wow.
With his new wife.
That's a good sign. I guess that you've made it as congenial as possible.
If there are kids involved, I mean, my parents are friendly with my ex-wife, and my youngest brother's divorced. His ex-wife is in the picture as well. Like they're. Just because they're no longer married to that person, they are still related to you because of the child, in one way or the other. And my ex-wife will always be a part of my life because of our son. And I'm really lucky. I have a great divorce, and I text with my ex-wife every day, essentially. So like we're friendly, and there's no reason to, exclude her from my life.
And I'm sure there's a dynamic out there. In fact, I know that there is, where your family member was the one who messed up in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, dude. Yeah, and how can you take their side? Because they were the a-hole.
He blew all his money on Pokemon cards.
There you go.
Maybe that's
told him not to.
Yeah. You dumbass. He collected two things: Dwight Gooden and Pokemon cards.
Look what happened. All right, we're moving on. This was a stream of consciousness nor story from a couple of days ago, and it has to do with Delaware. And apparently, there's
the Sunshine State
running of pot-bellied pigs in Delaware.
Yeah.
All right,
in
where?
rural and residential areas. And with that rise, the apparently in 2016, the state experienced a significant rise in pot-bellied pigs, and now they become a nuisance to landowners, are running the risk of establishing a feral pig population.
Okay.
And spreading diseases such as salmonella, among other issues, in Delaware.
All right. Well, we finally have a show member who lives in Delaware now. Our Kyle McCarty. He's a Delaware resident, formerly of New Jersey, so he kind of can speak on both if we ever have to talk Jersey
do a
stuff.
TED talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can he grab us a pig?
Yeah.
Officials said that the problem can be traced back to people who purchase the pigs as pets. Often people who sell the animals use terms like micro pigs and pocket pigs to make a sale.
So it's pet pig purchasers.
Mm-hmm. But as the pigs age, they can grow up to 70 to 200 pounds and have a lifespan of 15 to 20 years.
There was a while there where I thought we were going to have a pig. Because my youngest loves pigs. My wife was following these people on Instagram who have a pet pig, and not the gigantic ones like Jeff Devlin's.
Right,
brought home, but I was like, man, I think and apparently they're intelligent.
The word is they make really good pets, that they really are cool as, but again, when they start to exceed 200 pounds, that's
the thing. So, Casey, someone may tell you that you're getting a small pig, and then you get it home, and then a couple of years in, you're like, this ain't no small pig. Yeah. So as a result, a lot of the pigs can become strays, and some owners who can't bear the brunt of pig parenting relinquish ownership and allow them to roam around, and then you have the Delaware feral pig problem.
So has there? How many did they get an estimate number?
I don't have a number. No, there's no number in this particular
5 pigs
article.
for every person.
The at-large pigs are often go on to cause problems for land, livestock, and humans. And as a result of that, officials said that swift action will be taken to mitigate any threats. For example, if pigs are found on state-owned land, such as state forests and state parks, they will be, dispatched immediately.
Wow.
Primarily, that's because pot-bellied pigs can reproduce as young as 8 weeks of age.
Jesus.
which could allow feral pig populations to, quickly crop up and get out of hand. Very
Absolutely.
quickly.
You know who would help with this is Strangle Farms, Steve.
Strangle Farms is a great option. If you're overrun with pigs, you just take them over to Strangle Farms. They'll give you the piano wire. You can kill them. I'll tell you this. I mentioned the Mary Mead Farms pig, which is adorable. But I think it's better if you have a farm situation than a condo for your 200-pound pig.
Pig poop is awful.
Oh my
It smells
God.
so bad. Like if you ever get
It'll
stuck behind
sear your nose.
If you I've been in North Carolina a few times, and there's a lot of hog farms down there. If you get stuck behind one of those trucks, it is just terrible.
Yeah, well, dude, Hatfield Meats is out this way.
There you go.
And so we, where I live, and so I get behind those trucks every now and then. It is horrible. I think maybe even worse though is the chicken. If you smell the chicken trucks and the chicken poop, they're just
Slow your roll.
The stench is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Gene.
Easy. Looks like a crazy here.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
When I had those
Tap the brakes.
When I had those baby chicks in my garage for
Did they
less
stink?
than a week, by the time they left, the smell lingered. I want to say for a good 2 weeks.
Oh, you still got the ducks.
In general, I enjoy the sort of basic farm smell.
Yeah.
Not a truck full of
A
pig
light
crap.
poop smell.
Right.
I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yes.
It's earthy.
In general.
It's nice.
Right.
It's
Aromatic.
You think of the bounty of the earth.
Right.
When you're
morons.
around that farm, so you know.
Casey, I did the ducks as well. They were worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the ducks were worse.
Yeah, but they swim in your bathtub.
I liked the chicks way better.
All right. Well, anyhow, potbelly pigs found at large will be assumed to be stray
And will be strangled.
If the pig has identification such as an ear tag, it will be returned to its owner. But otherwise, they're gonna bacon
man.
Yep, there you go.
sausage. Yep, exactly. All right, this is good news. Always nice to hear good news. Gas prices are shifting in the U.S., and AAA is now saying the gas prices will likely drop just in time for holiday travel. Though the AAA reported a national average retail price of $3.60 a gallon for regular unleaded gas for Monday. Prices are about 10% or 10 cents per gallon lower than the week prior. And they're saying that many stations across the U.S. are already priced below $3, and it's not impossible.
And you get
oil
a free potbelly pig with every fill-up, Preston.
Hold there. We could see a national average of $2.99 around Christmas, which would be a gift that motorists are hoping for. So, but every year you hear every year. I can't tell you when I've ever heard around a holiday that, it's going to be less expensive to travel this year. It's always more expensive to travel around the holidays.
I got a tip this morning, Preston. There's a website or on Twitter called @MorningBrew, and they say that traveling through Pennsylvania this week, you should stop at Sheetz. Now, listen, I'm a Wawa guy, but this says stop at Sheetz. The gas station chain is lowering the price of their unleaded 88 gas to $1.99 per gallon. To provide relief for customers during the holiday. So it's a Thanksgiving promotion.
Yeah.
All right, Wawa. Ball's in your court.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. But $1.99 per gallon for the unleaded 88 during the holiday weekend.
I think a nice response would be a free fill-up with every purchase of a small coffee.
All right.
So I'm going to drive out to Mechanicsburg to go to Sheetz so I can fill up for gas. It should only cost me how many miles?
You know what?
Drive all the way back.
Yeah. Bring some garbage bags. You had a story, Preston, where a guy had filled up bags full of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, who's the guy? What about the guy, the motorcycle? The guy who
was
motorcycle.
tased.
Tased. He had a container
can
of
of gas on his back, and it exploded. So follow that model.
I go to my.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I go to my Liberty gas station.
You own a gas station?
No. It's not mine. It's the Fritz's.
Oh.
They own it. And I go there because I don't even look at the prices. The guy who owns the place, Mr. Fritz, is the best. And you'll see him out, there's a median in front. You see him out.
Hey, everyone, Casey's here.
He cleans up the street. You'll see him.
Really?
And nobody's
What's his name?
Mr. Mr. Fritz.
Mr. Gas.
You know what? I don't know what his name is. His son's name is Vinny. Vinny was an intern of ours when he was in the high school. They had to do a project. But
Casey, come here. Let me tell you, you're a good boy. I like you.
But this guy will go and he'll clean the medians of Route 320 on Sproul Road.
That's very nice.
And he's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so I got to drive west on the turnpike tomorrow, and then I'm going to head south on 81, which takes me through like Carlisle. I wonder if there's a Sheetz out that way because, like I don't know where the closest Sheetz is. Huh. Any of you guys, have you ever been to one?
I actually just went to
yes.
I just
Lancaster.
went to one. Yes, I went out there. It was during during the fall when I got like my mums and stuff like that. And yeah, I stopped at a Sheetz, and only because I had never been to one. I wanted to see what it was like, compare it to Wawa.
Right.
I got a sandwich, and I will say it wasn't as good as Wawa for sure.
Sheets are fine, but they're not. Wawa's better, but I mean, you know, they're usually clean. The one out in Lancaster is the one I end up going to, you know, for a coffee or something. But otherwise, yeah, they're fine. And but I mean, to travel that distance to fill up your tank,
right? But I'm doing it anyway, so I might as well stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something that I've been to the one in Hershey, and there's just something that seemed fake about it. I don't know what.
They're sushi.
No.
It's very similar in the, like, you know, they have the computers where you order like Wawa. Like, it looked a little bit like Wawa. The setup was...
They all seem like prostitutes. No.
No, but it was almost like a faux Wawa is what I felt like.
Faux Wawa.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Just, you know, it seems a little truck stoppy to me.
I think
Wawa's
that's it.
got a little more personality to it.
Ooh.
It's
Casey,
your neighborhood Wawa.
That is a good observation. Truck stoppy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Maybe
it was the lot lizards, yeah. But that's...
The one I went to wasn't truck stoppy. It was very Wawa-like. It just wasn't like maybe the quality of Wawa.
It's Wawa light.
Yeah.
It is Wawa light.
All right. There's another story I want to get to because I know we got to take a break, but I wanted to pass this one. So let me move on to that. This is pretty cool. I was happy to see this because we host a very large blood drive in the summertime. And some people can't give blood, and it's been for years, if they happen to have been in Europe or visited Europe for a certain amount of time during the deadly mad cow disease scare. But federal health officials have lifted the ban that has stood more than 2 decades now. It's over with.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so when you answer those questions, a lot of it has to do with where you've traveled, where you've lived, have you served overseas, things like that. And
have
some
you made
of
a
it
cow
is
mad? Yeah.
In the United Kingdom, blood collectors nationwide are tracking down people, U.S. citizens who lived, worked, or vacationed in the United Kingdom, France, Ireland, or several of military bases in Europe during various periods between 1980 and 2001, as well as anyone who received blood transfusions in those 3 countries anytime since 1980. So since 1999, those people have been banned from giving blood in the U.S. for fear that they'd been exposed to mad cow disease. Outbreaks of the cattle-borne infection swept through Europe, eventually killing at least 232 people, mostly in the UK. 4 cases have been reported in the U.S., all in people who likely acquired the infection abroad. So while you hear that number 232, you're like, oh, that's not that many people to die of, you know, something over that period of time. But apparently it's something that can get... that has a long shelf life. It can last in you for a long time. And if you get that integrated into the blood system, it can get out of control.
It can be another catastrophe, Preston. I'll tell you this.
Yes,
that
it can.
The as I recall, wasn't the step off of mad cow bone and cow parts ending up in the feed that cows themselves were eating, or was that just simply an urban legend?
I don't know, but I do recall hearing something like that.
Right. That there was
but I'm not
something
sure, Steve.
Quasi-cannibalistic about it.
So the rare disease is caused by an abnormal form of a protein called prion, which triggers damaging changes to the brain and central nervous system. It's spread from sick cattle to people.
It's 100% lethal, is it not?
It's people who eat contaminated beef, but it can also be transmitted through blood transfusions. But after decades of research and reassessment, the FDA has determined the risk of the disease has abated, thanks in large part to changes in the way the cattle are raised and the treatment of donated blood. And the agency eased the restrictions over the past 2 years and fully lifted them in May. That means hundreds of thousands of former donors can once again roll up their sleeves, and that might bolster the U.S. blood collections, which lagged during the pandemic.
So we have a pig calamity, but the cow stuff is eased up.
Yeah. So the American Red Cross, which provides about 40% of the U.S. supply last month, began accepting donors previously deferred because of the risk of mad cow disease. But, I mean, it's a good thing that they took those precautions, and it seemed like a long time, and it was. It was a couple of decades, but now they said that it's passed. And invariably fatal with an incubation period that can last years or even decades. The emergence of mad cow disease in humans in the late 1990s alarmed officials responsible for the safety of the blood supply. So they took that precaution, and apparently it's worked.
I never realized that was solely because of mad cow disease.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there you go. If in the past you haven't been able to donate, you will now be able to do
Yay!
Great news, especially for the I Bleed for Presidency blood drive, which,
This means we can hold the next one in Paris, Preston.
Let's do it. Let's go to Dollywood and then Paris for a blood drive. I'm excited about that. All right, that's the Stream of Consciousness Nerd. We want to take a break. Come back in a moment. We're going to talk to our buddy Connor Barwin. There's a cool musical event that's coming up that he wants to promote a little bit later on. Peter Billingsley will be joining us. Yes, Ralphie from A Christmas Story now has A Christmas Story Christmas, which is out on HBO Max. We'll get the beat file when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
You noticed another thing. I did notice another thing. I noticed things.
The noticer.
I'm the noticer.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Noticer. Preston Elliott stars as a man who notices things. Your gift is exceptional, sir. We can find a place for you in the government.
The noticer.
I noticed the Nazis are getting a little antsy. The Noticer.
Antsy?
I think they're going to make a play for Poland. We knew that well in advance, thanks to the Noticer, a national hero.
A man that saw or heard things that made a minor impact in his life.
I noticed something. Listen when the Noticer speaks to you. If you ignore him to your own folly.
I am the noticer.
I notice around and around and around.
All right. Well, I did notice this.
You really don't do anything particular about it. You just notice it.
Yeah. It makes a minor impact.
You never really
for a
leave your
moment.
office.
Mm-mm.
God, I used to love that Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
Both versions. There was one with Jack Palance.
Yep.
And one with Dean Cain.
I remember
but Palance was always the best. Believe it or not. Or not. This chick has no legs and gets around on a skateboard. Believe it or not.
He always had a really weird way of delivering it.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Or not.
Breathe. And
This chick has just a neck with a nose and travels on the back of a border collie. Believe it or not. Remember his, I despise weak soup. Remember his Campbell's ads?
Yes.
I hate it. I love robust soup. Every fiber of my being. This woman is just one nose and a hair. And lives in the bottom of an old container.
Does she have a border collie?
Her border collie can type. Believe it or not. And yet the most fascinating story. Shlomo Labinovitz, who is simply an earlobe and a toenail taped together. And yet he has built a completely functioning monorail. Believe it or not.
Are you sure it's a toenail? Could be a thumbnail.
It could be. I didn't look close enough.
U2 frontman and human rights activist Bono was named to Glamour's annual Women of the Year list.
Wow.
Okay.
Joining a group that includes...
Oh, that's great news.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
We should get together and do have a mani-pedi. Oh, look at this. It's Bono. It's Bono. I'm sorry.
Bono marks the first male honoree in the list's 27-year history. They had written, Glamour said, when a major male rock star who could do anything at all with his life decides to focus on the rights of women and girls worldwide, well, that's worth celebrating.
Then how come John Madden never made the list?
And they said, we're proud to name that rock star Bono our first man of the year. The magazine cited Bono's Poverty is Sexist campaign, which is...
sexy?
Sexist.
Oh.
which is specifically aimed at helping the world's poorest women. Poverty is
You wanna know
sexy.
what's very sexy? The impoverished. The way they just hold on to you tightly, it's very sexual. And sometimes they'll lean in close to your mouth to smell the food that you had. And it's so hot. Poverty's sexy. And you can always convince them to go home with you. To steal a Gary Shandling joke. Actually, Gary Shandling used to do that about the bag ladies.
Oh, my God.
It's so easy to convince them to go home with you.
I love that they lean in just to smell the food on your breath.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a steak.
You don't even have any left? You ate it all?
But I have to bring home for the dog. You understand.
Oh, God. All right. It's a whole group of girls leaning into his mouth.
Ladies, there's enough breath to go around.
But he said, no, he said the sexist, the Poverty is Sexist campaign.
Poverty is sexy.
The Poverty is Sexy campaign is specifically aimed at helping the world's poorest women, those who survive on less than $2 a day.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The honorees will be celebrated November 14th at an event in Los Angeles hosted by actress Tracy Ellis Ross. So I don't know if Bono will be there. Maybe, I'm sure, I would hope he would show up for something like that.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there to your event tonight, but I'm too busy breathing on people and making their week. Providing a subtle yet wonderful reminder of what food tastes like. Why are we honoring him?
Bono, humanitarian.
You owe it to yourself as a pure nightmare, as something so disturbing.
Yeah.
The last Bob Hope, his Christmas special.
Yeah, which were legendary.
Yeah. This one, the last one, it's like he should have been put to sleep years before.
You mean actually put down like a vet would put down a...
Yes, just the way you do to a sick dog. You know, you don't want to let them suffer any longer.
We're their advocate, and if we don't take care of them...
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a good run.
And exactly. Exactly.
Like Ray Walston with the dog in Mice and Men.
Yes. Yes.
I'll do it if you can't.
Yeah. and it's funny. That brings me. I went on with Robert Osborne, and he asked me to pick movies to show, and one of them was the original of Mice and Men.
Lon Chaney Jr.
Yeah, Lon Chaney and Burgess Meredith.
Yeah. It's a masterpiece.
And that scene still works, the dog one.
If you are not a blobbering mess of slop when that's in both movies of the Gary Sinise as well, then you're an inhuman piece of filth.
Yes, and how it comes back later on in the movie where Lenny kills the girl.
Yeah.
And George goes, oh, no. And it comes back because, like, earlier, after when they find out Lenny killed the girl, that the old man says to George, he goes, I shouldn't have let him kill my dog. I should have killed him.
Yes. Right. Oh, my God.
It's just so upsetting.
Yeah.
But you realize now George has to go after Lenny.
No. And so you would have done the same with Bob Hope down by the river?
So there's a scene.
Yeah.
You could find it on the internet.
Okay.
Where he's dressed up as Jack Frost with a big pointed hat and a little beard. And it's like, he has no idea his own name at this point. And when I watch this, I think, and his voice is like that, it's no longer the, hey, everybody.
I want to tell you.
Yeah. Now it's like, hey. And it's like, you watch it, and it looks like his wife's revenge. Like Dolores' revenge for all the screwing around that Bob Hope did on her.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh, my God. God.
Yeah, we're watching it.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, look at him. The guy died 5 years before this was filmed.
I mean, I adore Bob Hope, but that's a mistake.
Oh, God.
Wow. Jesus.
How did we get on this topic?
Because it just because we needed him to. Gilbert makes the point that he should have been euthanized many years earlier.
Right.
Yes, and it's like Dolores is singing and dancing here. She's old, but she does what, and it switches back to him to go, that's me. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cesar Romero, who played the Joker on Batman.
And did a brilliant job.
Yes. We should preface it with that. He did a brilliant job. And he was like, in his day, the Latin lover.
Absolutely.
And like
the mustache, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. And he would be with all the beautiful actresses.
Yes.
But he in real life, he was gay.
Yeah.
And what he was into was he'd gather up a bunch of his boy toys. And he'd stand there.
How do you know this?
Trust me. He would pull down his pants and underwear, and depending on who you hear it from, you always hear slight variation. Some people said he stood ankle deep in warm water.
Ankle deep in warm water.
I guess it added to it. And while these boy toys would fling orange wedges at his ass.
Oh my God, what the?
And so
you know, you've told that on this show, but I still love hearing it.
I love it.
I just the level. I mean, I think I told you the story that I heard, and this is one that I've heard from a few sources. But about Raymond Burr, have you heard that?
Well, I mean, I know a gay, but I didn't hear any.
His deal was he had a clear picnic table.
Oh, wait a second. Wait.
We have to watch how we say it.
Now, I heard it with Danny Thomas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, okay, so I don't believe any of it.
And with Danny Thomas, if you ask the right people.
All right. Which means some of these stories might lack credibility, but they're still fun.
They'll say, oh, you mean make room for duty? Or the other one is make poo for daddy. And that I heard it with Danny Thomas, that he would have a glass coffee table.
Yeah.
And hired hookers to take a dump on the table.
Okay.
And
He'd be underneath it.
And now a variation I heard is sometimes
somebody from the Fresh Beat Band.
See, well, now I heard the Fresh Beat Band is hired out to take a dump on people's tables.
They don't have a show anymore, so they gotta, you know.
But
extra fresh.
I heard, judging by who you hear it from, that Danny Thomas would sometimes wear a priest outfit.
A priest outfit.
Dear God.
See, here's the deal with this stuff, and I think there's a lot of this that's been embellished. But the truth of the matter is, you were dealing with a lot of wealth.
Yes.
So if your inclination was to do anything sort of perverted, you had a total resource.
But how the hell do you find out that you like standing ankle deep in warm water and having people throw orange wedges at your ass? At some point or another, it's got to happen by accident, or you need to hear about it.
Oh, that felt good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then by accident, how does it happen by accident?
Well, here's I was shopping.
How do you all of a sudden are in a room with someone, bare ass, and they throw an orange wedge at your ass?
So you think of the possible scenarios. You go to an outdoor proctologist. A flash flood occurs. You're in mid-exam, and he, while picking up something to throw over to you, or throw you an umbrella, his lunch is on the table.
Right,
with his orange wedges.
Out of excitement, he knocks it off the table, and an orange wedge hits you in the ass.
And he's like, oh, sweet mystery of life.
Yes.
So I think
you can't just wake up in the morning and go, oh, it would be a real turn on an orange wedge hitting me in the ass.
The Fox News Channel's Megyn Kelly writes in her new book about being sexually harassed by the network's former head, Roger Ailes, who was ousted earlier this year amid similar allegations from several women.
I want to fart in your face.
Is that Ailes?
Oh, my God.
That big slob. The
What the hell is going on?
he just impresses me as such a disgusting guy.
That's his thing. I would like to, right before we dive into the bizarre file, give away some passes to our Christmas Miracle live broadcast.
It's a Christmas miracle! Yeah!
All right, so December 21st, when this is going to be, you have to be at least 21 years of age. You got to be there early, all right, by 6 a.m. because we got to get you registered in because you might be up on stage. Who knows? You might get randomly called to get up and answer a question about the Preston and Steve radio program and walk away with some of our best gifts of the year. It's what we do. It's our year-end thank you for listening to our program. We'll be at Parks Casino in Ben Salem. And we can take 7 callers right now at 215-263-WMMR. You can bring a guest with you. Please bring a guest and make sure you wear your ugly sweater because it is a Miller Lite ugly sweater contest as well. And we have prizes in conjunction with that to give away. And it's just a great morning. We have a good time. We eat some food. We drink some beverages. We play some games. And it's a live event. Yeah, we always have a great time.
Yeah.
So let's get you on board for that right now while you are calling, and then we have a guest we're going to do, but let's get to the B file first. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
And the Bizarre File this morning is brought to you by Red Robin. The holiday gifts are all wrapped. Give the gift of yum with a $25 Red Robin holiday gift card and get a $5 bonus buck reward for you now through December 31st. Red Robin.
Nim, 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 nim. All right. I think that's a better tag.
Yeah.
Nim, 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 nim. All right. So a Texas woman entering the U.S. told border officials that the wooden box in her car was filled with beer. In reality, it was a spider monkey that she planned to sell.
Spider monkey?
20-year-old woman pleaded guilty to smuggling wildlife into the U.S. without first declaring and invoicing it and fleeing an immigration checkpoint as well. She attempted to enter the U.S. From Mexico through the Gateway Bridge in Brazos, and officers noticed a wooden box with holes inside of her car, which she claimed contained beer that she had bought in Mexico.
The holes are so the beer can breathe.
When officers opened the box, they discovered a live spider monkey. Officers then referred the woman to a second inspection, but she took off after that. Later that day, officers discovered online sales listings for the spider monkey with the woman's phone number on it.
Hey, the monkey drank all your beer.
She turned herself in. The monkey was recovered, placed in an animal shelter in Central Florida, and she will be sentenced on January 25th. The Stokes family. This is in England, I believe, is going to have a much quieter Christmas this year because 8 of them are now in prison. They were given jail terms after a wedding turned into a bloodbath between up to 50 guests.
Wow.
They threw chairs, tables, and glasses at one another. They used coat stands, fire extinguishers as weapons during the fight at the Daresbury Park Hotel. Things were so out of hand that when police turned up, they had to retreat until backup arrived, leaving them scrapping for a total of around 45 minutes. In total, the Stokes boys caused about $20,000 in damage to the hotel where 150 people were meant to be celebrating. A barman saw 3 men arguing around 11 p.m., but by the time he returned 15 minutes later, the main bar, around 40 men were fighting.
Oh, those Stokes boys.
Yeah.
Security footage showed them throwing items across the room and overturning a sweet cart. When the local police officer arrives, they quickly realized they were unable to deal with the mayhem, so they called for an armed response unit, and in the end, 30 police cars arrived at the scene and carried out mass arrests. So the arrests were as follows. Edward William Stokes was sentenced to 27 months in prison. Terry Stokes received 21 months.
Wow.
Thomas Stokes, Milton Keynes will be joined for 25 months, while Edward Stokes was given a 16-week prison sentence. A further 5 people were sentenced, with John Stokes sentenced to 16 months. John Stephen Stokes was handed 21 months. Stephen Stokes was sentenced to 20 months, and Brian Stokes and Edward Stokes were given 18 months.
Best wedding ever.
The Stokes crew is in trouble.
Wow.
A 21-year-old hot dog vendor was arrested for stabbing a person after an alleged turf war between out-of-town hot dog vendors set up outside of Petco Park late Saturday night. San Diego police had to respond.
So there's a war between hot dog vendors?
Yeah, there were reports of a large brawl involving 10 to 15 people. Duke Dumont had played at Petco Park before the incident was reported, which drew a crowd of thousands of people and typically also provides an opportunity for local vendors to feed hungry concert goers in search of a quick and tasty bite. As tempers flared, witnesses said hot dog vendors from Los Angeles were set up in areas where San Diego hot dog vendors typically sling food.
We don't need your kind around here.
And a physical altercation of territory ensued. Police said that a group of food vendors got into a verbal argument, resulting in a 31-year-old man being stabbed in the back. Wow. Police deployed pepper spray. They showed a video showed multiple people being treated on the scene. Fire rescue had to show up and help those who were affected by the pepper spray. The male victim who was stabbed was transported to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Yanni Yanes is his name, was taken into custody. Oh, no, the person who did the stabbing was taken into custody for the stabbing.
So the stabber was Yanni Yanes.
Yanni Yanes stabbed someone, yes. All right, and then finally, we will end with this story. A Missouri man has pleaded guilty to robbing a local Bank of America branch using a demand note written on the back of his own birth certificate and while he was wearing an ankle monitor related to a previous case.
I need something to write on, a note. Give me my birth certificate.
That easily placed him at the scene. He did it all, by the way, he admitted to authorities, to, quote, prove a point to his lover, though it's unclear from court records precisely what point he was trying to make.
I told
Michael
you I
Conley
was stupid.
Yeah. Entered his plea to one count of bank robbery, and it happened at approximately 11:30 a.m. An unknown white male, which turned out to be Lloyd, wearing a gray cutoff T-shirt with blue gym shorts and one orange shoe on his right foot, entered the Bank of America.
I'm guessing he wasn't a pro.
Approached the teller counter, presented a note to the teller, which written on a white piece of printer-like paper, was written with a pink marker, and it said, "Give me your money now. Don't say anything. I have a partner outside." And then the unidentified perpetrator had used a black Dodge Ram pickup truck as a getaway vehicle. A phone call 10 minutes later after the heist drew the local constabulary to Lloyd. The call came from the boyfriend of Lloyd's roommate. Lloyd was quickly located at the Lazy Acres mobile home park where he lived.
I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
Yeah. Confessed. That's right. Lloyd was incarcerated. He swiftly confessed, and Lloyd admitted to robbing the bank. He told investigators that he robbed the bank because he and his lover had gotten into a fight and he wanted to prove a point.
There you go.
They still don't know what the point was.
You are an idiot.
So anyhow, yeah.
I'm incarcerated, Lloyd.
The demand note was written on the back of Lloyd's birth certificate, and they don't know why he used that as well.
That's my birth certificate. Look here. Look at my license. It's me.
For whatever reason, he thought it was a good idea at the time. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we have a guest who is standing by. Steve, we talked about The Last Waltz on a few occasions.
Oh, it's one of the greatest concert movies ever, and the collection of music in The Last Waltz, phenomenal.
Yeah, it really solidified me as an appreciator of the band.
Yes.
I had liked a few songs here and there, but after seeing that movie, you're like, okay, these guys were a real force to be reckoned with and something special. And there's an event that is coming up, and it's a tribute to The Last Waltz, and it's going to be at Franklin Music Hall, and there's a charity beneficiary, and it's in conjunction with our friend Connor Barwin, and we want to welcome him to the show this morning. Connor Barwin.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Nice to see you, sir. And I mentioned a charity connection. The Make the World Better Foundation, correct, is going to get some of the proceeds from this event.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We're very thankful. We're getting all the proceeds from the event.
Awesome.
You know, this event is getting put on by Brian Dilworth's wife. Brian Dilworth, as you guys know, passed away a couple years ago. And this was a show that he put on, I think, twice before. And it was his favorite show that he ever put on, and so to honor him, his wife is putting this show together. And then Dilworth was a hardcore board member for MTWB the whole time MTWB has existed. So his wife wanted to give the proceeds to MTWB. So it's really great, and we're very thankful for Kristen for doing this.
So the concert is it pretty much a recreation of what you would see if you were to see the Last Waltz movie, correct?
Yeah, yep, that's exactly the idea, and that's what Brian did, years ago, and it was his favorite show. So his wife has put together the whole thing just like he did.
When I tell you that if you've never seen it, and Preston, I was kind of in the same realm you were with the band prior to the Last Waltz. I always appreciated them, but I didn't realize just how revered they were. The collection of songs and music that you see throughout this is so phenomenal. And apparently the musicians collected for this, Connor, are so amazing that their ability to replicate it is just breathtaking. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's a force of local musicians that are coming together to put on this show. And like you said, I mean, people haven't watched The Last Waltz. Just watch it right now. Watch it this weekend. The band is obviously incredible, and then the group of musicians that the band brought together to kind of perform this last show is really incredible, and we're just trying to recreate that show.
I listen to that music I listen to that soundtrack all the time. It's that good.
Yeah, and I love the band. And Connor, I'm just looking at some of the special guests, just the special guests. Adam Weiner from Lokot Connie, David Wasiknan of the Hooters, Don McCloskey, who we've become great friends with and fans of over the last year or two. I mean, those are just like some of the special guests. The band itself has got the horn section. It's a really impressive musical lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to be an awesome night. It's going to be an awesome show. There's going to be kind of good vibes going all around. It's the day after Thanksgiving. It's going to be a really special night.
So I understand, Connor, you're going to be covering the Dylan songs. Is that correct?
yeah, that's exactly it. Those are the ones I'm going to do.
Now, obviously, you're a huge music fan. You have had these shows over the years, and you have a real tight connection with some cool bands. But what is your own musical talent like, Connor Barwin?
It's very bad. It's very bad. This is a true story. I've only failed one class ever in my whole life, and it was band class in 7th grade. And I was playing the drums, and my teacher failed me. I was like, what's going on?
Wow, for such a music lover to be so terrible at it.
Very few people fail band.
That's what I'm saying. People that know this understand how funny that is.
And and you were playing the triangle, weren't you? Wasn't it?
I actually.
It's a harder instrument than people realize.
There's video of me doing a concert, one concert I was that guy that was limited to the triangle in the back. But I got better after he failed me, and I played a little bit of drums.
In
7th and 8th grade, but I'm not very good. So I stick to what I'm good at.
Is coming up on November 26th at Franklin Music Hall, and you can go to axs.com. It'll be a great time to get out and obviously help better. And for those who aren't familiar, Connor, a couple of the projects we I know you mention it every time you come on our program, but for those who may not be aware of it, if you could just bring them up to speed on Make the World Better, that'd be great.
Yeah. Thank you. We work with communities to kind of reimagine and rebuild their public spaces. And so right now we're working on a project in Grace Ferry, a $20 million project. And really what MTWD does different and better is we really, really work closely with the people that use those public spaces. And we work with them to empower them and design it for what they think they need. And it takes a little bit of time, but we think that's what makes these places special.
Well, by taking the extra time, the things that you end up achieving will last longer and serve the communities they're in much better.
Well, and there's also more of a vested interest in the community when they're getting their hands dirty and working on cleaning up these parks. So when they've actually got some sweat equity involved, they're a little bit more involved post project, right?
Exactly. I mean, we think, you slow down at the beginning, you kind of sort of speed up at the end, and this really makes these projects a lot more sustainable in the long run.
Excellent.
Connor, on a personal note, what do you got going on for Thanksgiving this week? You headed out of town, or you guys staying here? You hosting? What's up?
Well, we got a game Sunday against the Packers, so we're on our normal weekly routine. But I will have Thanksgiving at my house in Fishtown, and my in-laws are in town. So we're deep frying a turkey. I've never done that before. That's what's on the deck for us.
So make sure you have lots of fire extinguishers at the ready.
Shut up. I don't. Yeah, it comes up every year. Every year.
We almost burned down the radio station, Connor. So just be careful, okay?
Me.
Sorry.
I almost burned it down. But yes, listen. Get I kid you not, man. Get a fire extinguisher that is rated for oil.
Yes.
All right. The wood ones don't work. They will not put it out.
No.
And you will have to call the fire department. So get the oil-rated kitchen type of fire extinguishers. A little tip from your Uncle Press.
Yes. Chances are you'll be fine. Yeah, but just the precaution is always good.
Yep. All right. So
Noted.
the event, once again, it is the Philadelphia tribute to The Last Waltz, and it's going to be at Franklin Music Hall, and that will be November 26th. And you can go to AXS.com. Connor, have a great Thanksgiving, man. Good to talk to you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, and congrats on the food drive. I heard you guys set a record this year. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Connor Barwin, everyone. Excellent. All right, let us take a break and come back in a moment. A little bit later on, Peter Billingsley, who, of course, played Ralphie in A Christmas Story and is also playing Ralphie in A Christmas Story Christmas, which is now available. Will be talking to us in a few. We'll come back in a moment. Stay with us this morning.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Netflix plus Hulu plus HBO Max plus Discovery Plus equals holy shit. But WMMR's live stream, no subscriptions, and no, because, it's free. Free. 90 free WMMR.
We felt that cold blast, some more than others, a couple of days ago. If you felt it going through your house, you know what's up, man. And time to do something about that with the temps dropping and costs going up. Projections say that the winter heating bills could reach an all-time high. Window Nation Windows, man, they have a great way to help you stay warmer and more comfortable, and that's with incredible savings. You can get 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. Plus, you pay nothing with no interest until 2025.
Oh, my God.
You've seen him, right? He's like something out of Dune. He's like one of the,
Baron von Harkonnen. Vladimir Harkonnen.
He really just looks really bad. He should be hooked up to she comes into the room, he's hooked up to the hoses flying in the air.
Come over here. I want to fart in your face.
God. It's so gross. Can't deal with it.
And who would come over there?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Certainly no professional.
I was not expecting that. Yeah, he's got massive jowls, man. Big time.
And
we're looking at a picture of him right now.
He's done it with a few women. It's just horrific.
So in a chapter of her upcoming book, Kelly writes about Ailes that he offered to advance her career in exchange for sexual favors and made physical advances against her that she rejected, including, quote, trying to grab me repeatedly and kiss me on the lips. She writes that when she shoved Ailes away, quote, he asked me ominous questions like, when is your contract?
Because I can make them on demand. Come on, lean in close. You're going to like this. It's cheese.
I got to take a breath here. Saw this interesting article.
We'll determine that.
All right. It is by psychotherapist Abby Rodman. Now, it is about various types of affairs that can take place in a relationship. Now, we just think of one type of affair, the physical affair. But there are more than one of those.
This is interesting. Explain.
I shall. There is the emotional affair. Okay. One partner in this type of affair, one partner is starving for an adult emotional connection, and they've usually given up on getting it from their spouse. The partner may be depressed and not feel like themselves anymore. Then someone they know, a coworker, for instance, pays attention to them.
Yeah, you've heard the term like work wife and work husband.
Yes, yeah, and I can see that. To me, that always just constitutes a good friend.
Yeah, but I think a work wife is more
you let your actual wife know about your work wife. You don't let your actual wife know about an emotional affair.
I think that might be the case, yes. The partner usually, but however it says here, the partner usually justifies the emotional affair because they see it
Great
as
handies.
the lesser of two evils. No, there are no handies.
Oh, there are no
involved
handies. I'm sorry.
In the
that
emotional
would be
affair.
physical. You're right.
Well, and that's dumb. It's a hand.
Yeah, it's a hand. It's not even a vagina.
The point of that.
There's
That's like not even cheating.
There's your motto, Steve.
Wait, did you say Kathy just justified that handies aren't even cheating?
This just in. The sexual world was rocked by the revelation that since a handy is not a vagina, it's not cheating. Men of all walks of life hurried out of work running home.
Breaking news.
No, it says they.
Turns out it's not cheating.
The president.
If you ever thought that was bad, Kathy says it's not. Because it's not even a vagina.
You remember a while back we received a coconut in the mail.
Yeah.
Somebody just put an address on and mailed it and didn't know you could do that. So I asked for other odd items to be sent to us through the mail. Well, we've gotten a few of them.
What'd you say right now is the most unique thing we've received? Would it be the coconut?
No, I think it's that rewinder.
The rewinder? Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's
tape in here.
Is there?
Oh,
what is it?
Let's see what
Play
it
it.
is.
It's got to be porn.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Oh my God.
What is it?
All right. Hang on. Let's play a little game.
Oh.
I love little games. I will reveal cast characters to you.
Oh, it's like the Leonard Maltin game.
Yeah.
With Doug Benson.
Mm-hmm.
Doug loves movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's.
You gonna pull up the cast?
Yeah. I was not expecting this. All right. So.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna start with the star or a little further down on the list?
Where do you want me to start, Preston and Steve?
Key grip.
No, you want to go like on the list?
Yeah,
of
go
5
with
down.
the co-stars. Yeah, 5 down.
5 down.
All right, 5th one down.
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Steve
4.
will probably get this.
5.
John Mahoney.
John Mahoney.
Ooh. The comedian?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you want to turn this into
Say
a giveaway?
anything?
From it was from Frasier's dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say anything, probably. That's guess number 1.
that's
Okay,
wrong.
no. All right.
Next, Michael Lerner.
That's a woman, right?
Yeah.
No, that's a man, Michael Lerner.
No, I'm thinking Michael Learned.
Yes, from the Waltons. Played the mom.
Okay. I don't know.
6th down. You want me to do 6th down because it's a bigger name.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Spaced Invaders?
No.
Okay.
Do you want me to go down real quick? 'Cause
I don't care.
it's a
Just
bigger
give us
name.
another name.
Tony Shalhoub was 6.
Tony Shalhoub. This isn't Galaxy. No.
No,
because
because the others aren't in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you the year of the movie by any chance?
Sure.
All right. The year of the movie was 1991.
Year was 1991.
Okay.
And Tony Shalhoub had just completed production of a major motion picture.
All right. Above Michael Lerner is Judy Davis.
Judy Davis.
I don't know who that is.
A great actress, and she played many biographies. She also played Judy Garland.
Okay.
All right. Next one up. 2nd down is John Goodman.
Ooh.
Wow.
King Ralph?
No.
No.
Not a comedy. How about that?
Oh,
comedy.
The Babe.
No.
The Bitch.
No, that was Joan Collins. Looks a lot like
How's our
John Goodman these days.
How's our text board? Did they? Any
I'm not
guesses?
checking.
I'm not looking.
All right, go ahead. One more.
All right.
The main star.
So John Goodman,
Tony Shalhoub. John Mahoney.
and it was not a comedy.
It was not a comedy. All right, so it's something very powerful, would we say? Is it DC Cab?
I've only heard of this movie. I've never seen it.
All right. So you only have one name left.
I have one name left.
Probably Citizen Kane then.
And it's the title character.
Okay.
I almost said the name of the movie.
Yeah.
John Turturro.
Oh, Barton Fink.
Yeah!
There you go.
Son of a bitch.
Never heard of it.
Coen Brothers.
Never even heard of that movie.
It's very trippy.
Well, now you can watch it, Preston.
Yeah, right.
In beautiful VHS.
Well, we just
someone get a VHS player and put an address on it. Send it to us.
Yeah.
Undefeated records. Eric, good morning.
Hey, you guys rock. Uma Thurman needs the word.
Yeah.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Wow.
Case, how did you just do that? Do that again.
They're all right next to each other.
Do it again.
Everybody's heard about the bird.
Nice work. All right, Eric, what's up, man? Tell us about your perfect record.
When I was in the military, we went down to Haiti in like 96 around then for deployment. From the time we got on the Eisenhower to go down, which was like mid-September, we were down there about 5-6 months. For 3.5 months, me and my best friend were undefeated in the card game Spades.
How do you play spades?
Do you know how to play hearts?
A little bit.
It's basically hearts, but with spades.
Hey, now spades is a partner game, right?
Yeah. It's usually played 4 people, 2 to a team.
Okay. There's a Stephen King book called Hearts in Atlantis. You need to read that. It's a very there's a whole segment about the game of hearts that I think you'll dig, man.
Yeah, I played.
Cool.
Thanks, Eric. We'll
I
see
played
ya.
hearts and pinochle, and so spades is kind of like a combination of those two. I got to tell you, when it comes to spades, there was a giant bone of contention between my circle of high school friends. There's a scene in Boys in the Hood where I think Ice Cube says, "Yo, y'all want to bust some spades?" And my friend, and still to this day, thinks he says spags. And I'm like, spags isn't a thing. It's not a game.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I just needed your
peanut butter.
This just in. Clarification on dialogue that appeared in the movie Boys in the Hood so many years ago. There's no such thing as spags. We know it as Jimmy Leshevsky at the Pentagon. Jim, how about this whole Boys in the Hood conundrum? I was confused by it, honestly. I thought he said spags. But I thought to myself, there is no such thing as that, right? Thanks, Jim. Thanks always. Very, very insightful commentary.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to Tyler. Has a record. Hey, Tyler. Good morning.
Good morning. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right, so we're talking about people having a perfect record. What about you?
All right. I got a perfect record for getting stoned every single day and going to school and getting straight A's.
Straight A's. You got so you're an exemplary student, though you were stoned absolutely every. Now, would that be Monday through Friday, just school days, or were you?
No, every day.
Every day.
Wow. And you got straight A's.
Straight A's. I'm like a teacher's pet. Like the teacher has to say, Tyler, like we know you know the answer. Just stop raising your hand at this point.
Were you the teacher's supplier?
No.
Okay.
I don't sell drugs.
Okay, good.
All right.
So you're like the champion of drug addicts.
Sure.
Yeah.
For getting good grades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that's it's a little bit of a contorted title, but it is a title.
That's it. Listen, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
undefeated.
I'll take anything that you want to tell us about.
What
Thanks,
are you
man.
the champion of then at that point?
Of beating the odds, I guess.
Yes,
right?
of course. Yeah.
I don't know.
He didn't have to smoke resin one time. He always, right?
What's that? I'm not understanding.
When you run out of weed, you just you get like a paper clip or whatever, and you scrape out all the resin in your apparatus, and you
Casey,
smoke that.
I used to be called Captain Blackfingers.
Captain Black. Look at you, Cheech and Chong over here.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
If you don't actually have the leafy substance.
Captain Blackfingers.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a lot of people still want to watch reruns of The Cosby Show on television. In a Twitter announcement yesterday, Bounce TV said, "You asked and we heard you loud and clear, bouncers. We're bringing back The Cosby Show by popular demand."
I don't know if I have Bounce.
No, and you know what? Well, I don't know either, but Seventh Heaven is playing in syndication. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, you figured how would you do that?
Yeah, but if people want to see it.
Stephen Collins was admitted to sexual contact with a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
To me, I would find it difficult to believe him as a preacher in that show.
Yeah.
And Cosby is the ultimate dad at this point, I think, is not workable.
Well, it's old, and people might have they might look past that and just look at the characters as opposed to the people actually playing them.
You think so? I should revisit the Charles Manson sitcom.
What was that? I don't remember. Was that back in Oh, it was like a family sitcom, or
Squeaky, I hear you got a bad grade today. Why didn't you go out and kill a white pig?
I'm home. Look, that's
just
the
with
opening.
a crazy look on his face in the door. I'm home.
That's the opening shot. Oh God!
And they're at the Spawn movie ranch there.
Oh my God!
Wait a second. This isn't my knife. It's a melon baller. The voice in my head says we're going out for ice cream.
And then there's the episode where he carved the swastikas in their forehead. Oh,
I don't like it.
Yeah.
You never like anything. I think it makes me look Nazi-ish. I just think it's going to be an issue when you apply for jobs. I'm much to my own drummer, woman. Now go kill someone.
All right.
Leave as little circumstantial evidence as possible. Who's laughing? He goes, you can laugh
aware of the audience.
What the hell? Can't you hear that? Who are you?
All right.
33 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Case was telling me, guys, that we have a few prizes to give away, and I thought it might be kind of fun to try playing a game that we've never played before this morning. And what?
No, you at home.
Yeah.
We'll try a game we've never done before. Our games usually fail, so now we'll do a new one, and you at home.
Yeah, now that you're at home and you got this sophomore on the board.
Sophomore. Oh, on the board, you?
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. No, actually, I'd prep this game for Camp Out for Hunger because we like to have some contests ready to go, just in case we have some guests that feel like playing a game, something like that. And so I put a little bit of work into this, and I think this is a lot of fun, and I'd like to try this out. And I forgot where I got the idea for this. And by the way, if you know lyrics of classic rock music, then this contest is for you. So it's pretty simple a game, but you need to know music pretty well. And I could take any genre that I want to do this another time, and I'll explain this. But I just went with classic rock because there are some iconic lyrics in the world of classic rock that I thought people might know. And so let me explain the game. Then we'll solicit for the calls and we'll find out what we have to give away. But I've titled this "Classic Rock in Other Words," and I forgot where I had the idea to do this. I think I heard of one of the great songs, and I was listening to it, and the opening lines to some songs are for lack of a better term, they're classic, and you will always remember them. But I thought, what if I used an alternate word for every single word in the lyric of a song? How difficult would it be to identify that particular song? So I took words, literally every single word. I tried to use every single word on a rare occasion, like an and or an if.
No, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I tried to replace with a different word to try and see if you could identify the song. And as I started to do it, I'm like, this is kind of fun. It took a while to do, but I eventually came up with a bunch of them.
So that's how it becomes cryptic, and you just have to figure out sort of again, these are classic rock lyrics that just may not be obvious when they're done this way.
Exactly.
And we have stuff to give away, obviously. So, we're giving thanks back to you.
Now, the only thing is that formatically, I could just take a caller and see if you know the answer, but I thought it might be kind of fun to have people play against each other.
All right.
And see if they can kind of buzz in and see if someone can get it correctly. So what I want to try doing is getting two people on the line at a time, and I will read the classic rock line in other words, and if you know it, you need to say your name, first of all. That's you buzzing in. Say your name, and then I'll let you guess as to what it is. And if you don't know, then your partner, the person you're playing against, actually will have a free shot at taking a stab at it.
Are you sure you wouldn't want us to drive buzzers over to each contestant's home as they're playing?
Maybe we could do that.
All right. Yeah, well, actually, your way probably makes more
Whatever's
sense.
convenient for you guys.
No, this is good.
We only have a few.
We
don't have the manpower.
So we'll get callers on the line. Case, what do we have to give away this morning, by the way?
All right, well, we have the Christmas Miracle Passes to give away. So it seems like, coveted. But, the majority of the people on the line, that's what they want to win. But we also do, for those of you who can't make it to our event on December 21st, we do have cases of Victory Brewing's new 6% hazy IPA.
So you can stay home and get hammered.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so let's try this out. I thought this might be kind of fun. 215-263-WMMR is the number, and these are very well-known songs. I took there are no obscure tunes in here whatsoever. These are songs you've definitely heard on MMR at one time or another, but they do fall under that classic rock moniker. If we do have to put, I know it's all rock and roll, but if we have to put a title on them, it would be classic rock. So, Casey, let me know when you get callers on the line, and we'll try it out.
All right, we right now, and Press, you're gonna have to coach me through this just a little bit. I have to hit this button twice to put Toby on. Correct. Okay, so we got Toby on line 1, who's ready to rock, and then we have Jay on line 2 as well.
Okay, Toby and Jay. Let me make sure they can hear me. Toby, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. And Jay, are you there?
Gadzooks.
All right.
Gadzooks to you, sir. Okay, so this is the way it's going to work. I'm going to start reading the lyric in other words of a very famous classic rock song. The second you think you know what it is, say your name. I will stop right then and there, and you will have a chance to answer it. And if you get it correct, you win the prize. If not, the other person gets to go, and they can. And I will finish the lyric for them. So, Toby and Jay, you guys ready?
Yep. Yeah, question. Do we say the name of the song?
First, you say your name, okay, to make sure that you've buzzed in, and then I will allow you to answer.
That's how it has to be, all right?
Okay.
All right, that just
Let
lets
it
us know who goes. All right, so here we go. This is classic rock, in other words, song number 1. Let's begin. She was a very quick mechanism. Her engine was tidy. She was the greatest. Jay. All right, Jay, what is it?
It's AC/DC, and it's she was a fast machine. She kept her motor clean. She was the best damn woman I'd ever seen.
Keep going. What's the title?
You have a title of the song?
Should be All Night Long.
He worked through it. He did it.
All right.
That is correct. And Casey, what do we have for Jay, please?
All right, so hang on one second. I got to.
While he's going through that, I'll give you the rest of the line. So she was a very quick mechanism. Her engine was tidy. She was the greatest female I had ever laid eyes upon. She was ocularly blind and speaking only the truth while rendering me unconscious with her U.S. quadriceps.
Okay.
All right, so Jay,
That's
you
the
won,
American thighs.
You won yourself a pair of tickets to attend Preston and Steve's Christmas Miracle broadcast on Wednesday, December 21st at the Excite Center inside Parks Casino in Ben Salem. And now only you will be eligible to be called up to the podium to compete for the big prizes, but you can bring a guest with you. So congratulations. I'm going to throw you on hold. I didn't hang up on him. I did it.
Yeah, you did it. Look at Mommy, I did it.
All right, let's get 2 more callers on the line. If you can do that.
Yeah, we've got Ryan and Nicole on the line right now.
All right, Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes.
And Nicole, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
This is all working
you guys
out.
know how this works?
Yep.
All right, very good. Say your name if you know the answer to this. By the way, I have to thank my wife, Rochelle, because we came up with these together. She helped me out as I had pulled up the lyrics. All right, next song. Here we go. Only a minor municipality female residing in an isolated state. She rode a witching hour locomotive nowhere.
Ryan.
All right, Ryan.
Journey. Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah! You did it. You did it.
That is correct. She rode a witching hour locomotive to nowhere in particular, just an urban dwelling man birthed and reared in Lower Motor City. He rode the witching hour locomotive to nowhere in particular, and that is indeed she was just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took a midnight train to anywhere.
And she never stopped believing.
And Case, what do we have for Ryan?
And Ryan won a pair of tickets to attend Preston Steve's Christmas Miracle broadcast Wednesday, December 21st, Excite Center inside Parks Casino in Ben Salem, and he is going to be eligible to be called up to the podium to compete for the big prizes.
By the way, those were the 2 easiest ones. They do get a little bit more involved. I just wanted to ease it in for the audience.
All
So
right,
we're playing
we'll see.
classic
Okay.
rock. In other words, let's get some more contestants. Case?
All right, we got Steve and Bob.
All right, very easy to do. All right, Stevie there?
I am. Good morning, it.
Good morning it to you. Bob, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
All right, let's see how you guys do. Next contest in classic rock, in other words. Let's begin. On a nighttime barren roadway, chilly breeze on my scalp, toasty odor of
Bob.
No, Steve.
Oh, I heard Steve
first.
first. All right, Steve.
Hotel California.
He's right. Yep, that's it.
You
Yep.
said it was harder.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, that one was easy. By the way, I never knew that line, warm smell of colitis. I never knew what that meant. Apparently, that's weed. I had to look that up. And so that was
I thought
my
it was
line.
lady parts.
Toasty odor of marijuana buds lifting into the atmosphere. Forward of me, far away, I had the vision of a bright flash. My cranium gained weight, and my vision darkened. I had to cease for the evening.
So what was it? It's colitis, you said?
Yeah, we talked about that on the show one time.
Did we?
Did we?
It was because we didn't know what the hell colitis was.
I thought it was Cletus.
It's colitis.
My stupid cousin.
It was like a slack-jawed yokel.
Man, Cletus stinks, don't he?
This hotel's a crazy damn hotel. You can't check out.
Most folk will never lose a toe.
So, yeah, colitis, I guess, is maybe a strain of weed, or is it a nickname for pot, Nick? Do you remember?
It was just like a nickname, a silly way of saying it. And who wrote that? Was it Henley?
I think it was...
Or was it Glenn Fry?
I think it was...
one of them.
Felder wrote the music, and I think Glenn Fry picked up on it, and he wrote the lyrics.
Okay.
So. All right, 2 more contestants. Bitches.
All right, we have we got Dan on line 7, and we also have Ed.
Dan, a good morning to you.
Good morning, Crumbum.
Good morning, Crumbum.
Thank you, Crumbum. Ed, good morning it to you. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, easy game. You ready to play?
Yes. Yep.
All right, here is, and I think this gets a little bit harder, okay? Here is your next classic rock in other words. Warm salutations to the tropical forest. We have entertainment and contests. We have all that you desire. Nectar, we possess the knowledge of what everyone is called. If you have the currency, nectar, we have your sickness. I hear me.
I hear you, too. You sound great, bro.
All right, let me read that again. Warm salutations to the tropical forest. We have entertainment and contests. We have all that you desire. Nectar, we possess the knowledge of what everyone is called. If you have the currency, nectar, we have your sickness.
Dan, Ed, any clues?
3,
I got nothing.
2,
Nothing.
1.
I got it.
Stumper.
Immediately.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Later, buddies.
You guys, any guesses in the studio?
I know what it is.
Yeah, me too.
Do you want us to give it, or do you want to go to 2 other contestants?
No, because somebody might automatically know it as
Welcome
soon as we
to the
go.
jungle.
So
Yeah.
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way, I used nectar instead of honey. Honey, we got your disease.
Yes.
No, I used nectar instead. So yes, that is correct. Welcome to the jungle. All right, next 2 contestants, please.
We got Chris and Michael.
All right. Good morning, Chris.
Yoo-hoo!
Yeah.
No, I meant the
All
train.
right. Michael, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Wonderful, sir. All right, we got a new line here for you. Let's see how you guys do. And we begin. Occasionally, I sense that I don't possess a mate. Occasionally, I sense as if I am my singular companion. Is the metropolitan area that I reside in Los Angeles? Solitary as I may be, with each other we weep. What song is that? I'll read it to you one more time. Occasionally, I sense that I don't possess a mate. Occasionally, I sense as if I am my singular. Is the metropolitan area that I reside in Los Angeles? Solitary as I may be, with each other we weep.
Chris, Mike?
Got him.
I know it's a Chili Pepper song. I'm gonna. I'll go Mike.
All right, Mike?
Californication?
No. So, Chris, you get a free guess at it?
Chris? Go for it, man.
Chris, are you even there?
It's all on the
I'm
line.
here. I'm here.
All right, you get a free guess at it, but I'm only giving you a couple seconds.
Come on, go for it.
3.
Give it away now.
No, incorrect. Rambo, what's the answer?
Under the bridge.
That is correct. Yes, it's Under the Bridge.
Thank you. I got it. I told you.
The opening line is, sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner, and I said occasionally I sense that I don't possess a mate. See the other words.
It was easy. I like the city I live in.
It's the city I live in. Because he said City of Angels, and I just said Los Angeles.
Yeah.
See how that works there?
Yeah. It's totally a mind bender.
All right, let's get 2 more on, Case.
All right, we got Lance and we got Brittany.
Ooh, Lance and
All right,
Brittany.
Lance. Good morning, Lance.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what?
Hey, what? Hey, Britt. How you doing?
I'm not a hooker.
I'm not a hooker. I love
That's
that.
a classic one. All right, here we go. Classic rock, in other words. Let's see if you know the answer and what song this is. Will you be bringing me to your house this evening? Below, next to the crimson flame luminescence? Will you allow everything to protrude? Large high-kneed ladies, you cause the shifting earth to rotate.
Wow.
Oh, I thought that'd be a giveaway. Let me give it to you again. Okay, Brittany.
Brittany.
What is it?
Oh man, I doubt I know it, but I'm gonna guess. Is it Fat Bottom Girls?
It is.
Oh my God, I can't believe I got that.
The opening line is, will you take me home tonight? And I said, will you be bringing me to your house this evening? So there you go.
Nice.
And Brittany got it right, so we got a prize for Britt. What we got for her?
Brittany's going to go to Preston and Steve's Christmas Miracle broadcast
Yay!
Wednesday, December 21st at the Excite Center inside Parks Casino in Ben Salem. Congratulations.
It's gonna be a hoot.
Yeah. Preston,
All
I
right,
think we
let's
got
get-
time for one more.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right.
I got some good ones. All right.
Well, we're going to take this out for another drive at some point, right?
Yeah. All right. Who do we have
despair, young
next?
All right. We got Steve and Kevin.
All right. Steve and Kevin. Hey, Steve, good morning.
All I did was get out of the shower.
That was excellent.
And Kevin, good morning to you, sir.
Nothing is over.
Yeah, two very good ones. Nothing!
right.
Nothing is I just got out of the shower. Coming back from Vietnam, getting out of the shower.
Well, stinky and whatnot.
I'm thinking what? I'm body filth. Stink.
All right.
It stinks.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Classic rock, in other words. Let's see if you guys can get this one right. Here we go. Instructor, cease your yelling. Instructor, can you visualize? I would prefer not to be a ritzy idiot. Possibly, I ought to head to Hades, yet I am performing admirably. Instructor has to meet me. Classes are over. It's a tough one.
Yeah. Take it out for a spin one more time so Steve and Kevin can hear it.
Instructor, cease your yelling. Instructor, can you visualize? I would prefer not to be a ritzy idiot. Possibly, I ought to head to Hades, yet I am performing admirably. Instructor has to meet me after classes are over. Anybody know that song?
I do it. I do it.
I do it.
You do it.
Casey, do it.
I do it.
Steve.
All right, Steve, what is it?
Hot for teacher?
Steve totally knew it.
What do we have for him, Case?
All right. Well, Steve wants to go to see the Christmas Miracle broadcast, and that's what Steve's going to do. He's going to go see Preston and Steve's Christmas Miracle broadcast Wednesday, December 21st at the Excite Center inside Parks Casino in Ben Salem.
He do it.
And he do it. I do it.
So I stuttered at the beginning because he leads off saying, teach, just stop that scream. And the instructor part you see.
I got it.
So do you guys like it? You think
it's fun. Yeah.
Got some legs. I have a bunch more of them, so we could do this another time, or we could take it other genres for a spin. But classic rock and other words. Thank you for playing the game. We got some prizes out. That's a beautiful thing. All right, so we're going to take a break. We will come back in a moment. Peter Billingsley will be joining us because the Christmas Story Christmas film is out now on HBO Max. We'll talk to him in just a little bit and get some other things. Back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Greetings, good citizens. With Thanksgiving upon us, the thing I'm most looking forward to
The show is
It's Manson and Cosby for the Power Hour.
The show was syndicated in 1988, and various networks showed reruns up until 2014 when TV Land, Bounce TV, and BET all stopped airing the show due to the sexual assault allegations.
Cosby and Manson doing press together for the.
Oh my God! At a conference. There were a couple pieces of audio you wanted me to play, Steve.
Oh yeah. Yoko. I think she posted this on her Facebook account, Yoko Ono. She had an auditory reaction to President-elect Donald Trump.
Oh wait, is this
okay? It's real.
Is it words or is it?
You tell me.
It's an auditory reaction.
Tell me. In classic Yoko fashion, and this was a message to her followers, and to her followers, this means something.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I haven't heard this yet.
Okay. You know what that sounds like? You know when you have a balloon, and you let the air out, but you put it in your mouth and you go, ow, wow,
Marissa,
wow, wow, wow.
can we find a balloon, please?
Do you know what it also sounds like?
No, I mean an actual balloon around here. Casey's got it. We need a real balloon.
A real man's balloon. We got
those
condoms.
are gigantic. Look at this.
All right, well, go ahead, blow it
It's
up.
a weather balloon,
It's
for
a
Christ's sake.
douchebag is what it is.
Either we have a tiny balloon or a zeppelin.
It's a hot water bottle.
The hell is
this
that?
will work.
It might.
All right, try it.
He's going to pass out trying to blow it up.
And you know what? Preston is actually really good at just picking up wind instruments, so he might be able to actually recreate this.
He might be a virtuoso.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play it for him while he's blowing.
All right, stop. Got it.
What the hell's going on?
Trying to lick it.
Stop laughing. This is serious.
Yes, come on. You don't have to get it right up on the mic.
Maybe
No,
Yoko
Casey,
is
I can't
talented.
get it to squeak.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
All right,
Here we go.
Sounds like a
No, gotta take it back.
I need a different balloon.
It's not going to work.
Go to promotions. Get me. God damn it! Get me a real balloon.
Where's those balloons I requested? Can't come out of a Green Day song into a balloon segment.
You can't come out of Yoko Ono.
Yoko Ono into a balloon segment. Shut that bitch up.
Can you do the exploding Yoko for me, Steve?
Sure. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite bits of all time. Let me know when you're ready.
Hey, we're good to go. That's what she sounds like.
It actually, her voice is hurting my ears.
It's just annoying. And please, the enablers.
Stop putting microphones in front of her face.
I would say the people that supported Hitler and enabled Hitler.
Who does she have around her?
Yeah, they're just as bad.
Here we go.
They're so talented.
It's not doing the mouth thing. It's not with that one.
Who the hell is doing that?
What was that?
Nick, it was the balloon.
You got to go like this, Preston.
Jesus.
Wait a minute. Are you actually saying woo while you're doing that? No, stop that.
Why? It's added to it.
He asked you a question.
That's not hurting your ears? You would get you'd get a more pleasant sound if you ran over a cat with a lawnmower.
This is terrible.
Okay.
Jesus. Well, that's her take on the whole election.
Who's doing that?
Should we stop?
Yes.
Yeah.
See if you can guess what song
Stop
this
it.
is.
See if you can what?
See if you can guess what song this is.
Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, wait, we may have invented a new game. Here we go. What? That's just rhythm. That has no...
It's a song you should know. Oh,
It's
Oh wait,
honestly,
that was Limelight.
yes, it was. Seriously?
It was pulling up.
Do it again.
It took me a bit.
Can you do Crash Into Me?
That's hard. I can try. Let me get it for you.
Here, wait, hold on.
Steve's gonna do it.
No, I can't.
Oh, you're just blowing up a balloon for
I
fun.
just like to blow balloons. I really, if you're having a prom or something coming up, give me a call.
Is this the dumbest thing we've ever done?
It's in there. It's in there.
Do we want to stay on sugary?
No, I need savory now.
Savory, okay. All right. We'll move on to savory. Let's see. Shake Shack is adding more chicken to its menu.
Okay.
It's just in.
Dude.
The Shake Shack adding more chicken to its menu. And landslide in Peru kills 100,000.
Hey, by the way.
We go down to Jimmy Gushevsky, who's at Shake Shack.
Are you leading with that?
By the way, speaking of landslides, they saved the 3 cows.
They did?
Yes, that were up on that.
How'd they get them down?
I don't know. I didn't read the full
They
story.
raised New Zealand.
Nick had it up earlier, but it was that New Zealand earthquake that caused a landslide, and there were 3 cows up on top of that little plateau.
Cows were terrified. They were full of milkshakes. Boom!
He was laughing at himself. He couldn't even get it out.
Wow. That's a horrible joke.
That's so good. They were filled full of
milkshakes. Cows had milkshakes in them.
Because they were so scared. They were shaking.
I thought it was because the ground shook.
No. Hey, that's
the problem.
Wait, that's a good one.
It was an earthquake.
It was an earthquake, so they were full of milkshakes.
Got it.
All right. Anyway, I don't know how they did it, Kathy. We'll follow into that later on. So anyway,
They shot him.
Back to Shake Shack.
They shot him and threw him off.
They had a helicopter with a machine gun
Look
on
at
it.
him.
They're saved.
The Ride of the Valkyries.
We have the cows inside.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how they
God, there's so much of a story here.
went about it.
We have our cows inside.
All right. Anyhow, moving on. Back to the Shake Shack and the chicken.
Yeah.
We were speaking earlier this morning in our entertainment roundup about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson being the sexiest man alive.
Yeah, I sometimes don't support those decisions, but I have to agree with this one.
You agree with this one?
Yeah, on a guy level to a guy, I would say that because he's a cool guy. He seems like a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a guy who would hold you down.
Yes.
And take you.
Yeah.
And take you and make you realize things about yourself. That's what he seems like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some I have not agreed with. Richard Gere, you would agree with, right?
Oh, yeah. I
That-
loved Richard Gere.
Yeah, it's interesting what floats their particular boat every year.
They usually pick somebody who's
Yeah.
got something going on too, as far as being in the public eye in a big project, and they're successful as well.
In 1992, Nick Nolte won it.
No. Way.
Yeah.
All right. What did that picture look like, though?
I don't feel so good. In '92, it would have been fine. It would have been the time, I guess, around maybe the Prince of Tides.
Yeah, I mean, he's 51 at the time.
Yeah.
In '89, Sean Connery won it at age 59.
I have to poop.
There's a few other.
I have to poop now. So take your damn picture.
Take it now.
Take your picture now. I have to poop. He, I guess they were trying to show that an older guy could be.
Yeah, that was right when Last Crusade came out. And then Richard Gere won again in '99 at the age of 50, and Harrison Ford won in '98.
There you go.
At 56.
I'm thinking about that.
It was one of the more poop. Take your picture. Got to poop.
Long story short, I'm a murderer. I My son is really into fish and fish tanks, so we bought one. I got one for his birthday, which was back in September, and it took me a while to get it up and running. It's the first time I've
remember
ever
you
owned
mentioning this. Yeah.
Fish tanks seem like a great idea.
They do. You know, and I'm actually like overall really happy with the purchase.
Right,
I have a friend named Cheryl who's been really helpful in guiding me through some of this stuff because I didn't know what I was doing.
Are there a lot of fish?
Initially, there were 4.
Okay.
Initially.
Well, Superman, macro, ice cream, and oh crap, a 4th one.
R.I.P.
No.
How big of a tank, by the way? How many gallons?
Like 29 gallons. So I went away this past weekend. I went up to North Central PA and came back, and Superman, who was the biggest of the fish, was dead.
Yep.
So, you know, it sucked because I knew that I was going to have to make a decision. And that decision was, do I tell my son whether or not this fish has died?
Right.
And
is he super connected to it? Does he?
Well, it's his. I don't know. It's his fish tank. It's in his room. He picked out all the fish to go into the tank. So he's been very active in the decision making process. He named all of them.
I would get attached to my fish. Like I would be sad when they would die.
Yeah, and they don't really have a ton of personality, but they have some, and then you sort of figure out which ones stayed at the bottom and which ones come to the top.
Which ones never move.
Which ones never move.
And
which
just
ones
sit there on the bottom.
Which ones hide behind the little hut at the bottom of the thing.
Which ones decompose.
Which ones decompose. Which ones eat other ones.
Yeah.
So I took Superman out with the little net and put him in the toilet and flushed him down, and he went to fish heaven.
Yeah.
So this was over the weekend. It's now.
Where's that coming from? It's so damn loud. There we go. Okay. Go ahead.
So it's now Wednesday, and I have yet to tell my son. And so I don't know. Here's the quandary. Do I inform my son of what has happened with the fish and teach him the lessons of life and that death is a part of life and that we move on? Or do I just go out and get a replacement fish and pretend like it never happened?
I tell you what is an easy swap out is a turtle.
Yeah.
Those little turtles.
There's a great storyline in the movie My Blue Heaven. Joan Cusack accidentally knocks a turtle into the garbage disposal.
Well, speaking of the garbage disposal, about 2 years ago, actually it was a Christmas present. Santa brought Jace a betta fish, a pretty red betta fish. And I was cleaning out the nice vase that the betta fish lived in, and I put it in like a little cup, and that damn thing jumped out of the cup. I guess I filled it up too high and went into the sink, and Jace is sitting there. I remember he was eating lunch and he was sitting watching the whole thing, and I was like, oh, the fish, and I was like, don't move, don't jump, don't flap anywhere, because he was in the sink.
Yes.
So I tried to cover him with my hand so he wouldn't go down the drain. Well, he did, and I freaked out, and I was like, he's down there, he's still alive, what do I do? So great idea. I turned the garbage disposal on.
Oh my God!
What am I gonna do?
What are you?
You're a
Oh my
murderer.
God! My child is trapped in the wood chipper. Turn it on.
Steve, and he is staring at me, watching the whole thing with these big eyes.
What could
I don't
possibly
think he knew.
make you think that?
You can reach down in there
I did.
and get
I couldn't
it.
find him. I couldn't.
Oh, you
find
couldn't
him.
see him?
No.
Use a flashlight?
No, I couldn't find him. It was like, and it was so fast. Like I was like, oh, I'll just turn the garbage disposal on, and I quick hit the
Like to put it
switch.
out of its misery?
Yeah, because he couldn't breathe.
Listen, at some point,
Can't breathe.
if you could not find it, because believe it or not, at the bottom of the garbage disposal, there is a ridge that goes, or at least in mine,
Yeah.
and if it got under there and you couldn't get it out, what are you going to let it suffocate?
Yeah. But it's a fish, right?
I know, yeah.
And is there water in that disposal?
No,
it's dry down there.
Oh,
unless
okay.
you,
Then I
so
misunderstand.
I didn't know what to do. Poor thing watched the whole thing. And
Quick, turn it on.
Quick, kill it! Kill it! Mommy wants you to kill it.
I didn't know what to do.
Jace, we're going to teach you a lesson now. You have to turn the garbage disposal on.
God, no. Stop it.
Kill it. Come on. Spartan mom.
Is that for Kathy?
Me? Are you kidding? Everyone here is freezing.
You guys all have coats on, don't you?
Yeah.
Look at all the ladies are all put
Everyone
their coats on.
has coats on.
I'm cold.
You should put a coat on, Kathy.
I have a coat and a blanket. You should wear a T-shirt if you're going to sweat constantly.
He doesn't sweat, though. His pits have been shut off.
Well, he's hot as hell. Take your jacket off.
Oh, and that's just
I put one on. You take yours off.
She said it. She said it. I knew it.
He's hot as hell.
Hot as hell.
You said it. There's a little.
Oh, no. I slipped.
There's a little struggle. All right, thank you, Kathy. Even though I am at home today, tested positive for COVID, but feel just fine. I can look via Zoom into the studio. And did Jackie Bam Bam give you that shirt, Kathy, or where did you get that?
He did not, but it is Jackie Bam Bam approved.
Oh, is it Rolling Stone?
It's the tongues.
Oh, there you go.
It's a series of the Rolling Stones tongues in different forms.
You got to send Jackie a picture. That'd be quite thrilled.
You know what? Yes, and I did.
It's amazing.
I did recently get one of those bizarre texts from Jackie, and it was like a councilman or like. I don't know what he was sending me.
Oh, man.
Because now that I know, after him and Casey went on their road trip, when he sends you a picture, there's some sort of attachment.
Yes.
He is thinking of you for some reason, but this one
even if you can't discern what it is.
Oh, this is like a contest. Can I see the picture?
Yeah, so, sorry, it's State Representative Craig Williams.
Okay, Craig Williams. Where's he from?
I have no
Conshohocken.
idea.
You're from Conshohocken.
Casey, this is all I have.
Okay.
It was just this picture.
It's just a picture of the guy?
That's it. It's just a picture of the guy.
He's either from Conshohocken or he's from West County, I think.
Okay, all right. Let's look him up.
We have to look him up because that's what.
Right. It's like a Rorschach test.
Yep.
Yeah. I see a butterfly riding a motorcycle.
When he was driving, he was like, what did he see? Because Jackson did, he endorsed photo. Right?
Yeah.
And so there was a picture, we passed by a photo show, and he's like, taking pictures of Jackson. I'm like, okay. So that's what he.
That's adorable, though.
It really is adorable because he's always thinking of other people.
I can see him sitting there in the front seat next to you drinking his green muchacho, which is actually a macchiato.
No, so this guy serves portions of Chester and Delaware counties, Case.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's the problem. Casey complains
it's not accurate.
that it's all the way up. It's like it's mental for him. He sees that it's all the way up. Meanwhile, it's still freezing in here. It does nothing to move it, and then he moves it down, and it becomes an icebox.
I think the 30% was made in another country because cold is spelled cod and heat is cold. So, yeah, we miss you, too. Yeah.
Well, I saw that, obviously, with, Thanksgiving on Thursday, getting ready for the holiday. Which is going to be interesting because we're trying to quarantine from the other family members here, how we're going to go about making the meal and that whole thing.
How's that going to break out? Because you had plans that were actually fairly, not elaborate, but you had all these things in play. Yeah. That all's come to a screeching halt.
We were going to have another couple who were, alone this time of year to come over and join us. So that's not going to happen. And, and Carter made it known. He's like, I don't want to do the cooking. So I was like, okay. So we got to, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll mask up and we'll we'll handle that.
It's probably too late to arrange to get something catered, right? As far as
because we ordered a fresh turkey anyway.
There you go. You strangled it yourself.
We have to. Carter's got to go pick it up today. Yeah, we went to Strangle Farms. No, actually, we went to Bolden Farms, and so we have to pick that up today. And so we're not going to waste that. So
how do you do that? Yeah. So who will do the cooking?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Figure it out later on.
You probably. Oh wait, no. I was going to say you. Are you? I don't even know what you guys are going to do.
What was your question going to be?
Well, I was going to say, you guys aren't going to eat together as a family. Will you be in separate?
Yeah.
You can FaceTime.
Well, I mean, listen, we
can do that.
For some reason, my family, we all got COVID, and we all got it around different holidays. So
it's adorable.
My daughter got it for Christmas last year.
Yeah,
that's that was her Christmas.
Yeah,
gift.
you guys did something really sweet though. You had Christmas in the garage, right?
Yeah. Well, we put her in the garage. I said we had a We had a tree that we weren't using. It was a kind of old beat-up tree that really belonged in the trash, but I was able to set the tree up in the garage. We had all these extra Christmas lights and wreaths and stuff like that. So, I mean, we put it together real quick and set her up in the garage. And then, eventually they ended up going down the shore, just sort of like isolate or whatever. But, we did what we could. It still sucked.
Yeah.
Still, it was, pretty lousy and sad and stuff. But then around Easter is when my other daughter got it. And then my wife got it like Labor Day, so she wasn't able to be down the shore.
So you couldn't have your Labor Day dinner together.
Well, it was the last weekend down the shore. But,
right.
But that was, you guys, you pivoted.
Yeah.
You made it
adapt.
work, which is cool.
Yeah.
Made lemonade out of lemons.
That's what you did. All right. Well, anyhow, for those of you who are planning on Thanksgiving going anywhere, thinking that places might be open, I do have a list of stores that will be open on Thanksgiving.
That can accommodate? All right. Because, they used to, for a while, it was everything. Everything was open. They're really going nuts. That's when things like Black Friday, you wanted to feed into that quicker. Now, I think that's sort of diluted a little bit. So some stores adopted we're going to just let the families enjoy each other. And that's a cool thing.
When I worked at McDonald's when I was in high school, there were only 2 days where the McDonald's was closed. It was Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Really?
And I don't know if McDonald's are now open on Thanksgiving or not, but
That's a good question.
It was nice to have everybody could have those 2 days off, and they were paid holidays. So, but I don't know if that's still the case.
For years, my wife worked, she'd work at a place that was kind of the place where families would go, called the Milleridge in Long Island, and families would go and have their Thanksgiving dinners there. It was kind of a family tradition for a lot of families, so she'd be working. So what we would do is, when she was done, we would go to a diner that we loved, and we would get turkey burgers.
That's cool.
And then we'd have Thanksgiving later on down the thing. So that became a tradition. But some places are open.
I guess some people do have the tradition of like Kathy did at Guppy's, like catering for Thanksgiving. Rather, I have some friends that travel. It's just the nuclear family. It's just they have one son, so it's mom and dad and son, and they go every year to this resort. And that's their thing, which is kind of the antithesis of the standard Thanksgiving everybody get together thing. But it's their thing. It's their tradition.
Is it a swingers resort or just a?
It is not a swinger. No, they take their son with them.
Yeah, of course.
It is not a swingers
he can
resort.
play.
He is an adult now, but no, it's in Georgia, and it's nicer. It's usually a little bit warmer, and so they do that every year. But anyhow, Steve, after the pandemic, Target was one of the first retailers to announce that they would continue to be permanently closed on Thanksgiving Day, even after the world had opened back up. Similarly, Walmart stores were closed for Thanksgiving 2020 for the first time since the late 1980s. Since then, the retailer has continued this pattern. And so Walmart stores will be closed for Thanksgiving this year as well.
Which is kind of amazing. They will be open. Now, do they, on the flip side, open that much earlier? Kathy, is Black Friday as much of
what
a
it used to be?
Well, it's not what it used to be, but
Is it still 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. opening and all that stuff for a lot of these places?
So when Target did this and they stopped opening on Thanksgiving, then they went back to the early morning hours because there are still doorbusters. Like there's still things that you can only get in store while they last and not, online. Do they have online sales and maybe even what you're getting, in the store? Yes. But if it sells out, that's it. So some people, I don't think the lines are nowhere near what they used to be, how they were wrapping around the stores and they'd put out, the ropes and all that. I don't think it's that at all.
Well, Risque has early morning nutbusters, Preston, which is their version of the doorbusters.
Speaking of Walmart, have you guys seen the Office Space commercial with Diedrich Bader? He's playing the Lawrence character that he played in Office Space.
Yeah.
And like he talks about getting 2 deals at the same time, man. And like it's that exact character from Office Space from 23 years ago. It's really funny. It's a great Walmart commercial.
Oh, well, let me hit a couple of these stories. I know we're going to have Peter Billingsley on here in just a minute or two. But let me give you the stores that will be open. And some of them are ones that you would expect. It says here that 7-Elevens will be open. That varies by location. Now, this isn't a regional article that I read. This is a national thing. So the Wawa's not on here. I assume that Wawas are open on Thanksgiving Day.
Now, some have more limited hours now, but that's only, I think, also staffing as well as some areas where it might be a little crime problematic. But most of them will be open. You always rely on a Wawa as a go-to.
Maybe they close at like dinner time, but they are definitely open.
By the way, that turkey hoagie,
the gobbler?
The gobbler?
Yeah.
That works for me, man. Absolutely.
Then you have CVS is going to be open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Dollar General will be open 8 to 10. Dollar Tree will be open 8 to 10. Family Dollar.
So anything that's involving the transaction of $1 will be open.
That will be open. Yeah. Varied by locations for Family Dollar. Five Below will be open. But it varies by location.
So, okay.
Michael's, the craft store, is apparently open on Thanksgiving Day. That's interesting. Ooh, with the crafty.
I need to
That's one-
bedazzle.
That's one that gets wiped out. Like if you don't get there Christmas or Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving or Black Friday, like their stuff gets wiped out.
Huh. Then you have Old Navy, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
And they always have some sort of doorbuster where you get like a free something if you shop in store.
Okay. Rite Aid varies by location.
So you can get all your
Walgreens
drugs.
Varies by location, and Whole Foods varies by location.
Have you ever had to purchase a last-minute gift when you're like around Christmas from like a CVS or something?
Sure.
You get the Whitman
I can't remember
sampler.
in particular, but yes, I do remember having to go and go to a CVS, go to a pharmacy that's open to get something. Yeah. Casey, you have your hand up in the air. Does that mean our guest is on the line?
He is on the line.
Oh, excellent. All right, since I'm at home, I have to go with hand signals here. But listen, we were so excited when we saw the news that this movie was in existence and is now available, actually, for you to check out on HBO Max. It's a continuation of the beloved story, A Christmas Story, obviously, and the one and only Peter Billingsley is on the line now, so let's bring him on board. Peter, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, congratulations, man. This is, I never thought this would happen. This people have had to have been working on this project for years and years and years. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy when you think it's been 39 years
39.
since the original movie came out, which is nuts. So I was looking it up. I think it might be the longest sequel with a returning cast in cinema history. And it was definitely getting to the point of a little bit of now or never, I think. But we have been, the first one took nearly 12 years to get made. Nobody wanted to make that movie, and the guys had to throw in their salaries, director and writer, to get it made. It was a low-budget movie. Didn't do that great when it first came out, and then slowly built an audience over time. So we've been on this one about 4 years, so certainly not 12, but definitely wanted to take the time to get it right.
Peter, so obviously the movie has become iconic, and it's something that just, I think already they've started playing it around the clock, occasionally.
I know.
It's a lot.
It was a little early this year.
I thought, I watched the movie. I very much enjoyed it because it sits right in that pocket. What I really appreciate is that there's not an over-reliance on the past. You pay tribute to it, but the story evolves. And I had the joy of seeing Gene Shepard speak one time and talk about his childhood. It was so amazing. And the way this story works out is wonderful because Darren McGavin, who passed away, was the old man, and that sort of sparks the whole story. Getting everyone together, the fact that you, as you said, this cast reuniting, was everyone immediately in, or did you have to do some hunting down and locating these people?
Well, no, we'd all kind of kept in touch. We hadn't been together in the same room all at once for a very long time, really, until we did this film. But I think everybody, they wanted to see the script and kind of make sure, because there's been some bad ideas. Sequels, unfortunately, in our business have not been fantastic when they kind of do the old, hey, we're getting the band back together. All right. Let's see. And they don't often turn out great. So I think everyone kind of knew that in the group, but we knew that we had something that felt right after we had really worked on developing where are these guys now. Ralphie's as a dad with his own family. As you said, I think having some restraint in moving back. You want to give audiences, yes, the bunny suit makes a very small cameo, but certainly doesn't have as significant of a part as it did in the original. There's other things. And just that kind of notion of, as a kid, what you really want is the perfect Christmas gift, but as a grown-up, what you really want is for your kids to have the perfect Christmas. So that's kind of Ralphie's new quest.
Well, the beauty of the first one is that it was timeless, though it takes place, certainly of a time. This is also a period piece. This takes place in the 70s.
1973.
Right, which makes sense. And then what you've done is you've recalibrated. Higbee's is still in effect. However, the toys now are the Easy Bake Oven and things of that nature. So I could connect on that level because that was my zone. And so catching that as well was a really nice development. And I think also the symmetry of the story, what it becomes, because you're kind of charged with this conundrum of writing the obituary for the old man, the dad who passed away. And I believe the original story on Christmas, there was a story that Gene Shepard wrote called The Old Man, I believe, correct?
You're right, yeah. Well, so Gene Shepard wrote a lot of short stories, which were basically the basis of A Christmas Story. That and his radio shows, the BB gun being one of them, the Bumpus Hounds Eating the Turkey being one of them, the Tongue on the Flagpole being another. And they strung them all together as a series of vignettes and then kind of had the overarching story of the gun as sort of the A story, if you will. That's really what you're following. And so we kind of modeled it in a similar way. We optioned a lot of Gene's books for this. So Gene's written tons of stuff. So a lot of the narration that you hear in the movie is the same as Gene Shepard's words. Again, that sort of just goes back in the bucket of we really wanted to try to for audiences to feel that they're really back safely in this world. We built 11 houses back on Old Cleveland Street. So we built the Parker house, the Bumpus house next door. And we built 9 other houses around in that neighborhood so that we could shoot around and really feel like you're kind of transported back in time.
That's great.
Hey, I wanted to ask Peter, when playing Ralphie when you were a kid, if you were just being a kid, were you being a version of you, or did you really have to pull at your acting chops at that time? And if so, if you were just being a kid, are you now just being Peter as kind of an adult with a little bit of Ralphie, or how does that play out as far as the acting perspective?
Well, for sure, I think there's always a part of you that goes into the roles, but I mean, Ralphie was probably a little more conniving than I was. I mean, he's a little more of a smartass than I was at the time. Probably, I mean, the dude's lying to his family. He's kind of hustling his way to try to get to a gun. It's one of the things I really loved about that movie when I had some distance. It's a very real family. The relationships feel very real. So there's certainly a part of you in it. But, it was an odd movie as an actor. I had done I started at 2.5, so I had done a few things by then. But all that narration was very little dialogue, and I remember the director was reading it to me on set, and I was just thinking, man, I hope this movie works. This seems really strange. I'm having to act all these voices on set.
It's great because Flick, Schwartz, Grover Dill, Scott Farkas, everyone's in it. And
everyone makes an appearance, absolutely.
Everyone makes an appearance, and what happens is that there's logical progressions. Everything feels right to the way the characters have evolved, and so there's a general good feeling as you were writing this. I know you wrote the story, and as the script was coming together, did everyone have input on their characters, or was it they were just kind of given their character trajectory?
For sure. I mean, early on, these guys are, as much as I'm associated with Ralphie in many ways, the other actors are associated really strongly publicly with Flick and Schwartz, right, and Scott. So we had a basic idea. It was pretty cool to think of, okay, where's Scott Farkas 30 years later? Where are Flick and Schwartz? Where's Randy, Ralphie's brother? So we had an idea of who we wanted to create, but for sure we involved them, because for them stepping back into the role is kind of just as iconic for them as it was in many ways for me. So we wanted to involve them. It was cool. A big change. We shot this original movie in Cleveland. The biggest thing, we shot this one in Bulgaria.
What?
So that was kind of a big
Wow.
shift. Yeah, I mean, I know, right? So that's kind of the economies of Hollywood nowadays and the availability of stage space and all that stuff. So the good thing was we were pretty isolated, so we had nothing to do but work. So when they came over on the weekends, it was like, let's go through the scenes, let's go through the scripts, let's make adjustments, let's rehearse. So we were able to spend a lot of time working and kind of getting some of their thoughts that they had on their characters. But that also afforded us the opportunity to, as I said, build the 11 houses. Like you probably saw in the movie The Radio, we couldn't source that thing. And the Bulgarians are tremendous craftsmen, so they just built it.
I swear to God, I thought you were on the same. I thought you were on the same. It looked. I could not tell. It looked. I would never have pegged it as Bulgaria.
Storage.
Yeah.
No, we showed him a picture, and I remember the guy's like, "We can build that."
Wow.
Really?
It's uncanny.
Like, almost the next day, it's done. done to scale and detail. The furniture, same thing. We had a hard time sourcing it. They found a piece of fabric like it. They built it. So that was amazing. And
That's
that was a real
insane.
gift because we wanted that level of detail, and Bob Clark, the director, really brought that in the first one, with the Zeppelin and the toys.
Yeah.
All this stuff. As you said, it's not our generation, but it just felt right. It felt cool.
Yeah.
And so it was obviously important for us to recreate that in this one.
Well, I got to tell you, I watched it last night with my wife, and I loved it. The crazy thing is, and I just came to this realization during this interview, but A Christmas Story is probably the movie that I have seen the most in my life because I literally am 47 years old and I've watched it every year since 1983.
Multiple times.
Yeah. But what's crazy is what's crazy is there's a moment in that movie that makes me tear up every single time I see it. And it's really, really subtle, but it's when your character is putting the BBs in the gun and Darren McGavin is sitting there on the couch, just kind of like miming, how
don't spill them.
Don't spill it all.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what it is, but like that wells me up every single time. And last night, my wife likes to make fun of me when she catches me crying during a movie, and so I had to be very, very subtle. But there were a lot of like moments where I just got. I lost my father 8 years ago, and so there was a little bit of that with Darren, with your father in the movie.
For sure.
So maybe that had a little bit to do with it, but there were just other really touching moments. And what I really, really appreciated was that I was surprised. I thought I saw a couple of things coming during the plot and when it didn't turn out the way I thought, I was so pleasantly surprised and happy.
They avoided the obvious. Like with Scott Farkas. There were things that and that's cool too. It makes it interesting watching.
But it was a touching movie, and it definitely, it brought a tear to my eye as somebody who was a son and who is now a father. It definitely hit all the right notes.
Well, thanks. Yeah, for sure. I say in many ways it's an homage to Darren McGavin. I think himself, the actor, to the old man, that character.
Yeah.
And really kind of to dads everywhere. And there was a pretty special relationship with Ralphie. You talk about that scene with the BBs. Ralphie asked his mom, he asked Santa, he asked his teacher for the gun. The only person he didn't ask in that movie was his dad.
Yeah.
And that's the one who got it for him. So that's just sort of magical kind of connection. And so I think for Ralphie, there was a lot of pressure in this one to host Christmas, to fill those big shoes. And with that comes a little more emotion, a little more nostalgia, plus he's older, he's a little more reflective. So there's definitely shades of emotion that are a little more in the movie, but there's also some pretty good comedy. And
there's
as I said, given the kind of pressure going in, we're really, really happy with where things landed.
The fact that Randy, who's really the most awkward and shy, ends up being this sort of international businessman.
Baller. I know, it's kind of cool. But isn't that the truth? It's like sometimes the shyest, the ones that are smallest and meek, you realize is like, this dude's like a billionaire baller now. It's like, what? So, but it's kind of true. It's sort of, you never know. You kind of can't judge these kids at that age. So it was fun to think about maybe just twisting a little bit where the expectations might be of them, and certainly not reprising. And, I don't want to give away anything where Scott's concerned, but it's certainly not, the obvious would be, all right, they're going to fight again, but now they're grown-ups.
No. No, you guys.
It doesn't really happen that way.
You guys did a great job and put it right in the pocket. And I think it'll be a perfect companion this year to A Christmas Story.
Well done.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was hallowed ground that you were messing with. So I'm happy that it came out the way it did. Thank you so much, Peter. Congratulations on the success of this, and we'll send people in the direction of HBO Max. Have a great Thanksgiving and Christmas. All right, Peter.
Thank you so much. He hung up already.
Oh, he's gone. All right, Peter Billingsley.
Hey, you're my favorite show, guys.
Wow, Peter's like that.
I've not seen it yet. I want to wait till the gang and I can sit down and watch it, because that became, when they started doing the marathon, it became this kind of thing that's a companion now every single year without question. Like, we don't miss it. We will have to do one run through, at least one of all those.
A complete
that they run.
intact, and then you can catch it multiple times. There's something that they bring up in the movie, Preston, in case you saw it last night. And I wondered if this was a thing that sparked a memory with you, Preston. So he has this, he has a Plymouth, I think the family's driving, and the radiator keeps leaking.
Yes.
And so he does a thing where they take a raw egg and put it into the radiator, and it helps slow the leak. Really? I've never heard about that, but he says it was like a Midwestern quick fix. Had you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
No, I was not familiar with that.
Yeah, he cracks the egg and dumps
Puts it
into
right in.
into the radiator.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
like that.
I do remember having to futz with the radiator before and having cars. I mean, you don't really see that anymore, cars that overheat. But I do remember being terrified at having to take that radiator cap off.
Oh my
when it
God!
was hot,
You were
because
told
the word was it would explode all over you, right?
Your battery would explode when you use jumper
Yeah.
cables, and your radiator would
Right,
explode.
right.
In your you were terrified of both those things. But yeah, I'd never heard of that. But I guess because of the the viscosity, I guess you'd call it, or it might find its way to the opening and slow the leak.
And then the best part is you have a cooked egg to eat at the end. of
Right,
your
just
trip.
suck out the tailpipe.
I remember in Red Dawn they peed in the radiator. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yes, you could. That would work. Any liquid ostensibly would
so.
work. Yeah.
But
Hot piss.
Yeah, so this one is going to make its way into my regular rotation of Christmas movies.
Hot piss.
I'll tell you this. He was talking about the sequels were pretty terrible. I mean, Melinda Dillon is not in this one. It's Julie Haggerty who's playing the mom, and she does a fine job.
She does.
But to see those, those faces, and I think the fact that they undersold it a bit makes it work better. It's hard to live in the shadow of A Christmas Story.
I never saw one, but there was one with Charles Grodin, right, where he played the old man.
Yeah,
and it was. I heard it was bad, so I never watched it.
Yeah, because Ralphie was played by Ron Jeremy.
That's
yeah,
weird.
and that was just bad
Doesn't
casting.
even have blue eyes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyhow, I'm gonna give that one a shot eventually at some point between now and Christmas, obviously. But we got to get Thanksgiving underway first. So let us take a quick break. Come back in a second, and we'll share some bizarre file stories when we return on the Preston and Steve Show. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
It feels like an icebox. That's ridiculous. I'll work with you, but it's an icebox.
It's only an icebox when you're in here.
No, that's not true. Look around. Everyone is bundled up because it's freezing.
She is making a point. They are bundled up. It's
cold.
What if you both made love?
Ew. Hell no.
Would that help?
Stick me in an icebox and let me die there.
Wow. So I'm taking that as a no.
By the way, do you call the refrigerator an icebox?
No.
Okay.
The refrigerator. I can handle refrigerator temperature. I can't handle icebox temperature.
Wow. Is your friend here? Is your
I want to
friend
curse.
here?
I want to curse so bad. That's how effing cold it is in here.
Is your friend, we call your friend Daredevil?
No!
Always.
Not yet!
It's coming, isn't it?
Well, here's a question. I mean, there you have needs. What if in space and long missions, if you're taking care of yourself, what does that look like? Right? I mean, because there seems to be a whole bunch of ports in that thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Something's got to fit.
This looks good.
I don't know.
This looks like Lisa Ann.
Somebody's had to have done that, right?
Of course.
To bang people. How in all the years and people up in space? You mean to tell me someone's never rubbed one out?
Yeah. No, I'm saying somebody's had to have done that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're on the space station for a year at a time.
That's actually what caused the Apollo 13 issue.
Right.
It wasn't, the mixture wasn't correct.
No. Oh my God, we have a problem.
What did you do?
I mean, what about like
I didn't mix the fuel right.
What about like actual sex?
I don't know. Maybe there have
been men and women up together.
There was a married couple that went
a
up.
married couple up together. So yes, there would have to be.
That's the first thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
The 50 Mile High Club. You kidding me?
I mean, if we're talking about serious long-term space travel, it's going to be a part of it, right? So, like, eventually, if we're going to colonize on Mars, that has to be studied.
It's just not talked about.
Kathy,
There's
that
not
would be,
talk about it.
You would the hand you would consider with those huge space gloves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wouldn't have to worry about it.
All right, okay. This is really big. I can do this.
A bigger hand doesn't make it better.
No, I mean talking about not getting any mess on you. Anyway,
Kathy uses Hulk hands at home.
But in order to do that, because you're in zero gravity and you're floating all over the place,
you'd
have to secure yourself.
You'd have to have something to hang on to.
Because they sleep basically.
One would be strapped down. Yeah, they tie you in.
Strapped to the wall.
So they'd figure it out. I'll bet you if there was a married couple up there, it was part of their experiments because they're up there doing experiments all the time.
If they're doing poop and pee and all of these things that they're trying to perfect, that they're going to perfect what is a human necessity.
And I have to see video of this.
Various positions, I would imagine, right? To try and figure out which ones are the most...
We are attempting doggy style.
Yep.
Proceed with doggy style. We are having a little bit of issue here. We're going to take this outside the craft.
Odyssey, have you tried the cowgirl yet?
69. Not tried the cowgirl yet. 69. In 3, 2, 1. We have achieved 69. Yeah, this is Houston. We got you, and everything's looking good. I would grab her ankles a little tighter in an effort to solidify head position in the appropriate groinal area. We got that.
All right.
NASA can reduce sex to completely mechanical.
Totally. Sex experiment.
Tell her she's a pretty girl. Tell her she's a very pretty girl.
Please welcome from The Last Witch Hunter, Elijah Wood and Rose Leslie to our program. Good morning, guys. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi there.
Good to see you.
All right, so you're in hyper promo mode for this. You're on tour and doing,
hyper
promo mode because it's coming out.
Yeah, in fact, you guys are leaving.
Initiate hyper promo.
I like that.
Yeah. When did you get into Philly? And you guys are leaving later on this afternoon, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We got in late last night. Well, not that late. No, we kind of landed around about 7.
Yeah, we landed.
Yeah, we didn't land. We definitely
the
didn't
train
land.
just sort of arrived to the station. We took a train from New York.
Yeah, there you go. It's what you both got here is the essential point of the
train
whole thing.
landings are very strange.
Well, let's talk about the movie a little bit, and then we're going to geek out on you guys because we're fans of a ton of your work.
Cool.
But The Last Witch Hunter, so Vin Diesel is starring as this main character in this.
Yes.
And there are a lot, like I said, there are a lot of names. There are you two, and also Michael Caine is in this movie as well.
Yes.
But this is an original story. This is one that we haven't come across before. It's not coming from books or franchise or anything along those lines.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about what the whole plot line of this film is.
Vin Diesel's character, he plays Calder, who is an 800-year-old immortal witch hunter.
Okay.
And he's basically keeping black magic at bay. So black magic is illegal.
Right.
And that would be the scourge for which would be a danger to humanity.
And they're good. You are a good witch. No, not in an
Not
Oz
in the
reference.
Glinda variety.
Yeah, you're not in a Glinda variety, but he is reticent to do so, but you prove an ally to him. And you, Elijah, are an ally because you are, how's it pronounced? It's a Dolan?
A Dolan, yeah.
Right, not as in Mickey Dolan's, but in... But,
Wait, isn't that, don't they do deliveries at home?
That's a doula.
That's a doula.
A doula.
Yeah. But you are, there's an order of priests, correct?
Yes, correct.
That provide protection to these... To this immortal character that Vin Diesel is playing.
Indeed, yeah.
Calder.
So basically, Dolans are priests in a long line of priests tasked with serving Calder, the witch hunter, and basically aiding in the background of his effort.
Are you, obviously, Preston's been geeking out about Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I know, Elijah, you are a big Game of Thrones fan.
Huge Game of Thrones
Was that
fan.
a detraction while making The Last Witch Hunter? That
It was that Rose was going to be in the film? Yes, it was.
Totally, right?
It really was, yeah.
Yeah, I had read the books. And
I'm such a nerd for it. I flew to Belfast once, and as I was landing at Belfast Airport, I literally was humming the theme song. That's how much of a
Wow. Yeah,
wow.
I'd read
going to the land of Game of Thrones.
Reading the books, I love the character Ygritte in the book, and then they eventually presented you in the show, and I'm like, oh my god, they hit it spot on. She's a badass. You're sexy and at the same time, and where now for your guys' scenes, obviously you're north of the wall. Where was that? Was that in Iceland? Or?
Yes, exactly. Okay. So we shot in Iceland, and I think for those three seasons that I were in, we were there for like a solid 4 weeks, and it was amazing. I mean, we were shooting in ridiculous temperatures though, something like minus 18, where we, like, as a crew, we were getting paranoid that the lens would start freezing over, and then we wouldn't be able to shoot. And particularly in the kind of winter months, I mean, we had four hours a day of work, so we kind of like. We worked from 10 till 2, and then we just carried on drinking.
Let me tell you, it's funny because Preston is unsure as to which of you to geek out more on. But Rose, you take the
baton on that one.
Yes, on this
Yeah,
one.
I do.
I
I was going to geek out about Elijah.
do it. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
No. I mean, I just the whole series, the Game of Thrones series, has been. Man, you got to wait too damn long.
That's the only problem.
For the next.
I always dread the finale every
I do
season.
too.
Every season. I'm like, please, I just don't want to watch it
I
because
watch it
I
in
know
slow
that I'm going to
motion.
have that inevitable feeling of something won't have been tied up, something will be teased, and I have to wait a damn year for
Well,
it.
you look at something as Herculean as the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but every Christmas season, it was a new one was coming out.
Yes.
Let's get it together, folks. This may be just wiki BS, and I didn't realize this as I was looking. But Elijah, were you in the Forever Your Girl Paul Abdul video?
Yeah, that was the first job I had as an actor.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's wild. See, that ruined me for all other videos because I can't.
Where is this? I want to see it.
It's on YouTube like everything else.
And you can tell it's you.
Yeah.
That's a good song, man.
All right.
It was directed by David Fincher before he started making movies. There it is.
David Fincher
There it is.
directed
Oh, wow. Look at that. You can just pull it up on the television.
Oh, we're pulling up a video. I don't know at what point in the video he.
Where's Elijah?
He was a girl.
There he is.
Oh, you played a cute little girl with pigtails.
That's not me.
Someone was also texting it, and that you were in Back to the Future 2.
Correct.
As well.
Yeah, that was the first job out in a film.
A film, yeah.
That's me.
Well, I know.
Look, there he is.
That's me. Yeah,
Did you just break a pencil?
I did. I was, yeah.
He's stressed out.
What are you feeling?
It's the stress of daycare, correct?
Just so stressed. Look, he's yearning for his lost love. Yeah.
By the way, Steve, last time Elijah was here so long ago, we were both 200 pounds
fat, yeah.
heavier.
You guys were fat and I was skinny.
Casey was skinny and we were fat.
And I was sick that day. I was so mad. I wasn't here when Elijah was in, and we've had 3 out of the 4 Hobbits in studio, and I missed Elijah's
Who else have you had?
We've had Sean Astin a couple of times, and oh man,
Billy,
not
Honeybees.
Dominic Monaghan, but yeah, the
Billy
guy.
Boyd.
Billy Boyd. Yeah.
Billy Boyd. Yeah, his band performed in here.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's
so cool. And he's Scottish.
He is.
Oh my God.
I think he was from Glasgow.
He's from Glasgow.
Yeah, he's from Glasgow.
That's right.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Let's hear it for him, guys.
Yeah.
Excellent. We'll take a break. Back in a moment. Stay there. It's a hidden camera left in a forest to take pictures of animals in the wild. Captured pictures of a naked man who believed that he was a tiger after taking LSD.
I'm a tiger. Look at this. Grow.
The man only identified
I'm a wild tiger.
The man only identified as Merrick from the Czech Republic took the drug to try and treat his depression.
I'm Merrick the tiger. Growl.
But after taking LSD, he then ran off into the Polish forest, stripped naked, and started behaving like a tiger.
I must leave you now and return to the world of tigers.
Later, foresters look back
But I
at
hope my message of peace lives on.
They look back at the footage to try and see if they had captured any wild animals on camera. But after watching footage of the man,
Oh, this is a straight up the ass shot this camera got.
oh yeah, he's totally naked.
Yeah.
He handed
The brown eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
It's the brown eye of the tiger. It's
And
the
he's
thrill of
running
the fight. They handed the picture straight over to the police, who later apprehended Merrick. The 21-year-old then confessed to police that he had taken LSD.
I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger. Running around. Tiger round. I'm a tiger. I am high.
He told then the. He said it started to work immediately and that he felt he had become a Siberian tiger.
Wow, that's a cool one to go for.
He told police that it was then that his true personality had woken up and that he had always connected with the animal.
Amazing.
He added that while being high on the drug, he picked up a scent and felt compelled to follow it. In 8 hours, he is believed to have traveled 15 and a half miles along the Czech-Polish border.
Not bad.
He's hauling ass.
Yeah.
But because the man did not have any drugs with him, he was only fined and will not face any further charges. So,
I mean, come on.
yeah, this picture.
Pull it down.
All right, I did notice something else. I noticed.
More to be noticed.
I noticed this handwritten piece of paper.
He noticed a handwritten piece of paper.
This is the audio of Kathy from earlier this morning. Did she say bitted or not? She was talking about a woman that bit someone's finger.
All right.
Casey and I thought we heard bitted.
I might have heard bit it as well.
And she says it wasn't, but and texters have gone either way on this too.
Okay.
So it's nope.
Let's see.
She heard bit, and yes, I heard bit.
Well, I tell you what, if Kathy's right, passes to the movie on Wednesday night.
Okay, to who?
To Rogue One, to Kathy.
No, I mean to give to Kathy. Okay, sure. What were you saying?
There's a
Wow,
possibility
thank you.
there's a possibility that she said bit it, but I think she said bitted it.
Then I'm going to go with bit it.
I'm going with bitted it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Remember, there was also another woman who bit a woman's finger off.
Bitted a woman's finger off. You heard it.
Wait, play it again.
All right, here we go.
Remember, there was also another woman who bit a woman's finger off.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, audio proof that Kathy said bit it.
No, I didn't.
Can I hear? I want to go.
Hold on, yeah.
Marissa is
Hold on,
she
here.
edited.
Another woman who.
93.3 WMMR.
What say we do the bizarre file? Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, starting with this story, and I like the excitement, Steve.
I like to amp it up a little bit.
A convicted felon was arrested after he allegedly shot his mother's boyfriend following a physical fight over a dispute about a salad.
Aha!
Yes, this
So
was
he-
in Antoc.
And he's in jail right now?
Let's see. I assume he is. Yes, he was arrested.
Lloyd. Over a salad, Lloyd. It was a Waldorf.
Rondell K. Jameson was charged with aggravated battery with a firearm.
Where are the
Police responded
raisins?
to a car crash on Wednesday morning, and they found a woman driving the vehicle and the woman's boyfriend in the passenger seat. The man, who was bleeding, had been shot. The two told officers that they were driving to the medical center. The victim, who was in his mid-40s, told officers that Jameson had shot him at their residence. The hospital confirmed the victim had been shot in the elbow and left hip, with the bullet being lodged in his hip. Police had responded to the residence where the woman, her boyfriend, and the woman's son, Jameson, where they all lived together. Jameson exited the residence and was placed into custody. Officers cleared the apartment to ensure that no other victims were inside. They spotted a gun on the floor. Jameson admitted to the police that he and the victim got into a physical fight over a salad.
A kerfuffle.
The victim also confirmed that he and Jameson got into a fight over a salad. And
What
the
kind of
fight
salad?
lasted, I think it was the Olivia Munn salad, or the Olivia Wilde salad, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
The fight lasted several minutes, and the victim fled from the residence without his shoes. The victim saw Jameson's mother pull up to the apartment complex and began telling the woman what happened. Jameson allegedly exited the residence and began walking toward the two while armed with a gun. That was it. He'd had enough.
That's it.
Enough of this
Are you
salad
kidding me?
crap.
I can't find one baby carrot in this thing.
Jameson's mother tried to stop her son as he approached the vehicle, but he pushed her away and shot the vehicle. Maybe he hated radishes.
That
I
could
don't
be
know.
it. That's all you need to
Jameson
like
is
that match.
a convicted felon and does not have a firearm owner's identification card or a concealed carry license.
Is there a specific salad prison they send criminals like this?
I would think so.
Yeah.
At some place, there's a whole produce division,
There's a lot of salad tossing.
Oh, my God.
A man is being charged with operating under the influence after allegedly parking a truck in two parking spots that were designated for state police. Troopers returning from training to the state police Weston Barracks, by the way. And they found an F-150 truck parked across two spaces perpendicular to the lines designated for the cruiser parking around 3:30 a.m. Two men were found asleep in the truck with the keys inside when troopers woke them up. The driver allegedly tried to put the truck into gear multiple times after the failed attempt. The men opened up their doors, and the driver agreed to perform field sobriety tests and was charged with operating under the influence of liquor. But he happened to pull into the parking spots and park on them perpendicularly where the troopers were supposed to be. All right, this is listen how stupid this is. Heather Wallace's oldest son, 8-year-old Aiden, was driving his two brothers crazy in the car as they all returned from karate one afternoon. Wallace asked Aiden to walk the rest of the way home. It was about a half a mile in a quiet suburban Waco, Texas neighborhood so that he could calm down. And for this, she was arrested, handcuffed, and thrown in jail.
What?
She was charged with endangering a child, a felony, carrying a mandatory minimum of 2 years in prison.
What?
She said, it brought us into a deep trauma. She is finally able to speak out after completing a 6-month pretrial diversion program to get the charges dropped. But her arrest remains on the books, easily searchable by employers, which is disastrous for someone with a bachelor's degree in education. So here's how it unfolded. Aiden, the kid, agreed to walk home. After all, it was something he had done many times. There are sidewalks the entire way and practically zero traffic. But 15 minutes later, 2 cops knocked on Wallace's door. Her son was in the patrol car, and another officer was parked across the street. A woman one block away from their house, had called the cops to report a boy walking outside alone. That lady had actually asked Aiden where he lived, verified that it was just down the street, and then proceeded to call the cops nonetheless. They picked up Aiden on his own block. As soon as they stood on her porch, the officers told Wallace that her son could have been kidnapped, and sex trafficked. The police officer said, "You don't much see sex trafficking where you are, but where I patrol in downtown Waco, we do." And that statement struck her as odd. She said they were basically admitting that this is a safe neighborhood. The officer then asked Wallace whether she would let her son walk home again now that she knew about the sex trafficking. And she says, I still didn't know that it was illegal, so I said, I don't know. And that's when the cop replied, okay, I'm going to have to arrest you now.
Oh,
and he
my
proceeded
God.
to do so in front of the kids, handcuffing Wallace behind her back.
Is it in fact illegal?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All in all, it was about 3 hours from the time the cops showed up to the time that they drove Wallace to the McLennan County Jail, where she was locked up. The next day, her husband paid her $300 bail, and they ended up going home. But there was some sort of ordinance that is a technicality that they may have been playing on or something like that. But, I mean, it's a half mile. There's sidewalks. It's on their block.
Yeah.
And she got arrested for that and charged as
and
well.
now it's affecting her future.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's see. How about this story? A search and rescue operation involving a military helicopter took a strange twist on Sunday afternoon in British Columbia when a 35-year-old man was arrested for interfering in the rescue effort. Search and rescue says it received a call about a paraglider who had crashed onto Mount Paul. Well, according to police, Simon Herget, who later said that in an email that he was at the location after being alerted to the situation by a friend, grew impatient after joining the search and rescue team members as they hiked up the mountain. Herget became verbally abusive when the team didn't take the route he suggested. He's also a paragliding enthusiast, and he said that he hurried to Mount Paul and got there before the search and rescue team. And he said he ran up the mountain, and from the summit, he found the location of the crash victim. Herget said that he was able to communicate with the victim, whom he identified as a young Swiss man named Quentin. Herget said that he headed back down the mountain in hope to help. That help was on the way. Halfway down, he met the search and rescue team. He said that he told the search and rescue members that he had located the downed paraglider and tried to direct them to the safe possible route, which wouldn't endanger him of rockfall. Herget said the team was moving slowly, and I impressed upon them how serious it was, and they needed to move fast because the paraglider wouldn't be staying warm for long, as his plan was as his pain was increasing. Eventually returned to the base of the mountain, where the Royal Canadian Mounted Police took him into custody because they had called in a police helicopter, and he was saying, "No, you need to go do this right now." So they got him for interfering with the rescue for whatever
That's
reason.
another goofy
I don't
one.
know. I know, it is another goofy one. So, do we have time for one more, Casey?
No, we do not.
And that is all we have in the bizarre file for you today, dear friend. So, all right, you know what? Let's do some more Christmas Miracle giveaway passes. We'll take 3 callers right now. First 3 callers, 215-263-WMMR. The event is coming up on the 21st of December. We will be at Parks Casino in Bensalem in the Excite Center. And we would like you to be there. The caveat is you need to be at least 21 years of age. You have to be there by 6 a.m. And you have to be a big fan of this particular radio program, The Preston and Steve Show, because The game we will play that morning has to do with trivia about our show. It's a way to say thank you for loyal listeners and great prizes to be given away, and we'll have a great time. But if you get called to be in the contest, we want to make sure that you know a thing or two. So we'll take those 3 callers at 215-263-WMMR. It's a Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. Make sure you dress appropriately, and we will see you there. We're going to take a break. Come back in just a second. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR. What happened? I was there and the woman bitted the other woman's finger off. Did I tell you I was a cheerleader?
How about your winter activities?
My winter activities, I had to not do a few of them during the camp out. I nearly bitted my fingernails off, worrying about it.
Worrying about it.
Okay. All right, play it, Casey. Slow.
I remember there was also another woman who bit a woman's finger off. Wait a second. That was all. Is that you?
What I said was bit it.
When are we going to do our wine club again? Where we get together and watch that Nick Lachey show.
Listen, what I said was bit it. A woman's finger off.
Like, I like it, that song?
Bit it, a woman's finger off.
Oh, you're still going to fight it.
Yes. You just have to talk so fast with you guys because you either get cut off or shut down or you can't finish your story or your statement or a word. Exactly.
I'm like a falcon just waiting to jump in.
Not you, everybody
know.
in here.
Well, I do it the worst. I know.
Steve, can you do a little bit of the traffic in her voice? Somebody's texting you for that.
Okay, on the northeast-south conduit, traffic is backed up. And at the wood crustacean, which sounds like a giant wooden lobster.
Seen their stand-up routine? I don't know, but you should. Please welcome. You know them from the Broken Lizard crew. We have Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy who are here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Fresh off the red-eye flight in from the West Coast.
Fresh off the red-eye. Yeah, we had to get here on time.
Yeah, and we listened to your show all the way in.
Oh, I hope it was enjoyable. You
Dick
didn't
tips. Dick tips. Great runner. Great runner. Cow-towing. Best joke of the last 30 minutes. Cow-towing, yeah.
And Kevin had a stranger sleeping on him.
Yeah.
On the way.
A lovely elderly Asian woman fell asleep on my shoulder.
Now, we were talking about your ability to, prior to coming on, you rock the plane sleeping, no problem, but you cannot use a neck pillow.
No.
Your body naturally forms a pillow that keeps your head up.
Yeah, I don't have a neck, so my head is just propped on my shoulders.
Yeah.
So my head doesn't tilt, I can just sleep anywhere sitting straight up.
So did you let her sleep on you?
Yeah, why not?
He didn't know. He didn't know she was there.
Can't we all just get along?
No, I woke up once. I was on a flight from Hawaii back to Philadelphia, and I woke up to there was a little bit of turbulence. Well, there was a lot of turbulence, and this huge man that was sitting next to me was like grasped onto my arm and like wrapping around me, and he was like, "I think we're gonna be okay." I'm like, okay.
That was his opportunity.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
guess so.
If I was sleeping on her, it would have been different. She would have been.
She'd have been suffocated.
Yeah. She'd have got rid of me in a second. I'd have pancaked her.
There's a nice space between these. I'll rest my head there.
Yeah.
It's an adorable picture.
Yeah.
It looks like you're smuggling her out of a country. And, but I envy you being able to do that.
Yeah.
Man.
And Steve, you have your arms folded too. I don't know how you can fall asleep in that position.
We were talking about that because I mentioned to you guys before coming on the device I purchased for Preston, which is this inflatable thing, sits on the tray table. Now, Steve, you are as good as Preston at sleeping on a plane, or no?
No. There's only one spot. I can only sleep on the right side of the plane, on my right ear. I have to lean against the wall. Otherwise, I can't. My neck is I have too much thin neck to, like, even a neck.
Is that
pillow.
a syndrome?
Yeah, I have thin neck syndrome.
Yeah, more giraffe.
TNS, they call it.
TNS.
Yeah, I suffer
But
from
you
TNS.
have a specific. You know the specific seat you need. What is the specific seat you need?
The F.
The F seat.
The F seat. And that goes for life too, by the way. I'm always sitting in the F seat.
That's your autobiography title.
Yeah.
Steve
Always
Lemon,
in
the
the
F seat.
Life in the F seat.
Life in the F seat.
The F seat.
Yeah.
They'll think it's a
idea.
hip hop album. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, but I've just. and it'll screw up any sort of your long-term trip. If you go overseas, you you'll ruin a vacation because you lose 2 days because you didn't sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
And I've never done that. I know you're flying mostly within the United States, but now you just got it down to when you get on. How long before you're asleep?
Like minutes. I recommend people have their necks removed, and then it's easy to sleep that way.
It really is unbelievable how you can sleep on. Like it pisses me off.
It pisses me off.
Yeah. Because sometimes like one of his eyes remains open for the sleep. Like you only know he's asleep because his mouth opens up.
Right.
But his eyes are open, and when his mouth is closed, you can talk to him. But when his mouth is open, that's how you know not to disturb him.
It's true. So Kevin, you're acutely aware of the fact that Steve's going to be awake taking pictures.
Oh, that's all he does of me. He takes pictures of me while I sleep, and I think
have a
it's
whole album of
fetish. It's a fetish he has.
How do you fall asleep knowing that's going to happen?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't bother him.
I'm a performer. You know what I mean? I like to perform for people. So I walked into the bathroom, the airport bathroom, when I got off, and I had a gigantic drool stain all the way down my T-shirt too. So no, it was a good sleep. It was a good sleep. Yeah.
That is great, especially when you're walking off the flight. Everyone knows exactly what that is.
Hey, guys, I know that a lot of people were excited when they heard that Super Troopers 2 was going to start production this year. It happened in October. You guys
we shot it. Yeah,
you shot it. It's done?
It's done,
wrapped.
yeah. We're in the editing room now. Yeah, that's why we red-eyed out, because we were editing yesterday. So, But, it was... We finished about first week of October, and we shot for 2 months up in Boston.
So with the with your stage show, and you guys go out and tour. And you've done it for a while. The other three, I guess, go off and do their deal. But
we're the funny ones.
You're the funny ones.
Guys,
But I love your kind of your stage show is a synthesis of different things. It's a storytelling and stand up, and it's almost like an evening with.
Yeah, we each do a traditional stand up comedy set, but we also we come out together and we'll tell behind the scenes stories of the making of our movies. In fact, this weekend we're telling a fresh new story about Super Troopers 2.
A tease? Because
I'll tease it.
I love the...
I'll tease you, Steve.
Tease me like crazy. Tickle my ass with an ostrich.
I'll tease.
So tease, yeah. What is it?
I have a really exciting love scene in Super Troopers 2. I have a very exciting love scene. It's...
Which Carlito's Way member do you look like?
No, it's me with my mustache, but I'm going mustache to mustache with Rodney Farva.
Wow.
Kevin and I have a love scene together.
Yeah.
Really?
We have a thing.
Yeah, we make out in this movie.
Yeah, we can't really give away how it happens, but it does happen.
Yeah.
I love that. I love, because I was, watching a lot of your stuff, and there's an elaborate... Patrick Swayze encounter story that I thought was hilarious. And you, Steve, are a huge Patrick Swayze fan.
Kevin and I are both big Patrick Swayze fans, but Kevin missed his opportunity to meet him because he was over at the free buffet table.
I had a moment.
The window opened for a second, and Kevin was not
open
there.
Bar, dude.
What I loved about it is that you guys are, because you guys, you obviously have this degree of success, but you're just the same sort of guys that we all would be in the same situation. When you meet someone you're sort of a fanboy for, and you realize in short order that you were that annoying fan.
93.3 WMMR. The song is Zero on the President and Steve Show. It is 6 minutes after 10 o'clock. Fairly comfortable day today, 52 degrees and sunshine. Warming up. Tomorrow, be like 56. Not bad at all, sunshine. Thursday for Thanksgiving is looking good, too. Mid-50s and sunny skies. We do see a chance for some showers. On Friday, high 52, and then Saturday moving into your weekend, 55 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Finally getting back into the zone of about where we need to be for this time of year. Don't forget, our Word of the Week prize this week is a short one. Obviously, a 3-day work week this week. We will give that away tomorrow on the program, $250 gift certificate from our friends at squeezed.com. So we'll get ready for that at the end of the show, getting the letter of the day. In the meantime, something else to give away. We got to do a lesson question. We are giving away a 4-pack of tickets to experience the magic of the season at the Tinseltown Holiday Spectacular. Yeah. And that's at the Expo Center at Oaks. Nick, I'm going to have to ask you to pose a question to our listeners this morning, please.
All right. Later in his career, Gary Oldman will be endorsing which kinds of products? As his career winds down, Gary Oldman's going to be endorsing which kind of products? 215-263.
The name brand product, or
well, either or.
All right.
We'll take
215.
one or the other. Yeah.
888-263-WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer to that. And while you call, we will do the trash. Here we go.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, and the trash this morning is brought to you by Horizon Services. Purchase a new heater from Horizon Services Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing and get up to $1,700 back with zero down and zero payments until 2024. Book fast at horizoneasybook.com. And then, Press, you can take it from there.
Hey, Steve, what's up this morning?
Hey, Preston and Casey. Well, more information coming out about why Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde ended their relationship. Apparently, Wilde had begun talking marriage recently, while Styles had begun holding his hands over his ears, yelling, "I can't hear you."
Hey!
Lifetime upping the ante against the Hallmark Channel by including lovable dogs in their Christmas romance movies. First movie up for the holiday season will be My Christmas Bitch.
Oh, my God.
And finally, Meghan Markle's guest on her most recent podcast, Jamila Jamil, says she can't believe the amount of crap Markle has to put up with simply for being herself. Markle responded by admitting that she really wasn't listening. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, thank you, Steve. So we need to know from the listeners if you have an answer to this question. Gary Oldman is retiring, and when he retires, he is going into endorsing which products? 215-263-WMMR. Casey, pull me out a winner there, Bobby.
Wow, that's so funny. Our listener's name is Bobby.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
Seriously. All right, let me go. Hey, Bobby, good morning.
What's up, brother?
All right, buddy. All right, so Gary Oldman in his retirement will be endorsing what?
The little blue pill.
No.
That's
wrong.
That is incorrect.
You can't guess.
Had to have been listening in order to know the answer to that. So let's go to another caller. And is it Cindy that we're going to go to?
No,
Casey?
it's Tom.
Okay.
Close.
No, thank you. Well, who is it?
Tom.
Oh, Tom. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Tom. All right. So Gary Oldman retiring, and what is he going to be endorsing?
Hold on 1 second.
You got to hang on, Press. He's busy right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Go to the bathroom. All right.
Oh my
Tom,
God.
are you done now?
Tom?
Yes,
All right.
Tom.
What's the answer?
Yeah, Tom. So what did he say?
Gorilla glue or tape?
Gorilla glue.
Yes,
or
Gorilla
tape?
Glue. That is correct.
It's just that easy.
He had to check his notes.
Yes. He
He had
keeps
it written down from
extensive
earlier
notes.
today, and he needed to do the peek at that. So that means we got a winner, and we are going to set him up with a 4-pack of tickets to experience the magic of the season at the Tinseltown Holiday Spectacular. You can explore the larger-than-life illuminated sculptures at the Expo Center at Oaks, and tickets are on sale now at tinseltownholiday.com. Let's do music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Hey, real quick, Press, before we get into the sponsor, Kathy, is there a special Kathy code for that Tinseltown?
Yeah, you know what? If you use Kathy 20, you'll get a discount on that Tinseltown. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kathy 20.
Yes.
Tinseltown.
Kathy 20, not TWENTY.
Right. Just think my age. Kathy 20.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, that'll make it easy to remember.
30 years ago.
Yeah. All right. And music news is brought to you by Family Jewelers and Family and Company Jewelers. Fill her stocking with the gifts she'll be showing off all year long. Visit them on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, or online at familyjewelers.com. They spell Root ROOT, by the way. After me.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So online at familyjewelers.com, South Jersey's holiday diamond destination.
I think it's pronounced correctly. I think that's why they do that from time to
Not
time.
because it's a
All
tree.
right. So Måneskin, the band, has opened up about their upcoming album, which is titled Rush. The band reflected on the past year with Victoria and the band saying, it's been amazing. It's been a crazy year. We've done so many crazy things. The most important thing is, of course, the music. Now we're getting closer and closer to releasing the record, and that's the most important thing. We can't wait to finally share it. When asked why they chose to name their band or their album Rush, Victoria said it was made in a rush, and this whole year has been a rush. We had like 5 hours to decide the title, And we thought that this is literally on point, so accurate.
So it's not a tribute to the band Rush?
It's not, unfortunately, a tribute to the Canadian power trio Rush. But she said it's like what's happening right now. I think it's the best word to sum up the last year or 2 years of our lives. We always make such a huge amount of decision in a short amount of time. So we kind of live in a rush. We wake up in a rush. We eat in a rush. We wash in a rush. So I think it's the right word to sum up our life. So that's why they named it.
So why did they call it Rush?
Willow Smith joined Smashing Pumpkins on stage during the finale of their Spirits on Fire tour on Saturday night.
I didn't know they knew each other.
No, I didn't either. Smith, who performs as Willow, joined the band for their 1993 hit Cherub Rock at the Hollywood Bowl. The 22-year-old rocker showcased her guitar-playing skills while Billy Corrigan handled the lyrics. So I didn't even know she played guitar.
Yeah.
So apparently they're friends. And then I have just one more story, and that's it. The reunited Jane's Addiction welcomed ousted Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist John Klinghoffer on stage for a small set of their classics. Klinghoffer, who has jumped on stage with the band previously, and as recently as last month, was on hand this past November 12th during the band's joint gig with Smashing Pumpkins at Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena. UltimateGuitar.com posted that Klinghoffer, who now serves as a touring member of both Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder's solo outfit, the Earthlings, performed on Ocean Size, 3 Days, and Mountain Song. So a little jump-up jam session took place there. And that's all I really have. I didn't have much in the way of music news today, but I'm passing that info along to you.
We have some instruments behind you. Do you want to unveil your rock opera that you've been working on?
No, you just, I could reveal the rock opera. It's a story of a young man who woke up one morning and he found out that his tennis shoes or his sneakers had turned into potatoes.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm working on that, but I'm just in the beginning stages right now. Yeah, tater toes. Anyway, so that's it in music news, and we will take a break. And when we return, Letter Day, Word of the Week prize, turn it over to Pierre and all that good stuff. So stay there. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
What should we say this, Swayze? And we ran down the list. Yeah, Point Break, Youngblood, Dirty Dancing,
Roadhouse.
Yeah,
we
Next
were
of
zipping
Kin.
through all the movies.
You were trying to pick the movie to lead with because you wanted to set the tone.
I was just gonna have him just talk about every single movie he ever made.
Yeah.
And Kevin. We didn't think we were actually gonna speak to him, but Kevin walked away, and our Super Troopers producer came over and said, I know Swayze. Do you want to come meet him? He's about to leave though, so you have to come right now. Which is why Kevin missed the opportunity. But then. I got Swayze. I brought him over to a Japanese lantern in the corner of this party, and then I froze. I couldn't remember a single movie, and and then I was is Swayze your stage name or?
And you saw him do the non-discreet security hand movement that.
Yeah, he made a little signal. I caught it. I didn't register what was happening until Matt Dillon swooped in between us. With his back to me. He was like, "Excuse me, bub." And after about 60 seconds, I was like, "Oh my God." Swayze gave him the signal,
the help signal,
and they were not coming back to me. And I sulked and I walked away. And then Heffernan was waiting for me, and he was so fired up. He was like, "Oh my God, Patrick Swayze and Matt Dillon, tell me everything." And I had crashed and burned.
So, in retrospect, what movie should you have led with had you have remembered? What is the ultimate Swayze movie?
Point Break.
Point Break. Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Point Break or Roadhouse.
Too. Yeah.
I should have gone.
I think Next to Kin gets forgotten a lot.
Next to Kin is great. Black Dog is a deep cut, which is pretty solid. Ghost. I could go Ghost.
But you're a Dirty Dancing guy.
I'll do Dirty Dancing. Hey, look, in Club Dread, I play a character named Juan Castillo.
Yeah.
And if you translate that into English, it translates into Johnny Castle, which is the name of Pete Swayze's character in Dirty Dancing.
Pete Swayze.
Yeah.
That's our homage.
Wow.
Sofia Vergara's attorney, this is a follow-up, spoke out about the reports the actress is being sued by her own embryos and an ongoing legal battle with former fiancé Nick Loeb.
Are they going to put the embryos on stand?
I'm wondering if that's a bold legal maneuver or not, and if they'll try it, but we'll wait and see. The Right to Live lawsuit was filed on behalf of the fertilized eggs, listed as plaintiffs Emma and Isabella on Tuesday in Louisiana.
The defendant, Sofia Vergara. The plaintiff, her embryos.
Loeb and Vergara created the embryos in 2013, and Loeb has since been battling to have them carried to term and then taken to custody. And then he takes him to custody. The latest maneuver, this is according to her attorney, this latest maneuver is nothing more than another attempt on the part of Mr. Loeb to keep himself in the public eye by keeping himself linked to Miss Vergara. You notice that's always what lawyers say. This is another attempt at publicity.
Another shameless attempt.
They always go there.
We have every intention of putting the embryos up on the stage, and I will cross-examine them vigorously.
So there's the...
Look at you. You're not even developed. You have no arms or legs. You're simply an embryo. You're a gelatinous mass, and you show up here without even wearing a suit. You insult the court system.
I think you should be held in contempt.
Yeah. Not entertain this circus.
Loeb's suit comes just 1 week before it.
Besides that, you left a slimy trail all the way up to the stairs. And everyone else will now slip in it.
And that might be a lawsuit.
That could be another
right
lawsuit
there.
in the making. And I am frankly shocked that the court would allow this to happen. We ask that anyone taking the stand, please clean up their slimy trails after them.
These from the Geeter bag.
Oh,
these are,
what are these?
These are Anderson peanut butter filled pretzel nuggets. That's what Casey snacks.
So the Geeter sends, sometimes you get these baskets that have Jerry Blavitt, sends these great baskets, but sometimes people will send these baskets where there's nothing good. Right. And it's a wonderful gesture. His baskets always have a lot of great stuff in them.
Yeah, I like the tower. Like you get all
That's
those
really
little
good.
boxes.
I do like that.
Yeah, those
you know who does that? Harry and David.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And they got the.
They have a very good the holidays. It's the number one place to shop. It's a holiday season upon you. Harry and David are very good.
Nick became full-blown, Shogun.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm interested in purchasing a tower of Collectibles for holiday season. Your name is McQueen. Cookie here. Cookie here.
Brownie here.
Duck chocolate to cover the blueberry. I said the blueberry. Blueberry.
We don't have any blueberries.
Son of a bitch. I know you were coming to avenge me.
He really did. He got very emotional.
I like the popcorn with the chocolate.
Oh, you got to do the. You like the blueberries, right?
The Harry and David dark chocolate covered blueberries. And here's the difference. Here's where it all comes down to. They're actual blueberries covered in dark chocolate, as opposed to blueberry mush. Some other places do. This was once a blueberry before we treated it with radiation and whatever. But the Harry and David dark chocolate covered blueberries are blueberries.
Yeah. So when you had your surgery a couple of years ago,
You
Steve,
very kindly brought by like a whole supply of them.
Yeah, I bought 3 boxes of blueberries. I only gave you 2 of them.
Mate, I'm only learning about that now. Now I regret having the surgery.
Hey! Is this a Harry and David?
He has, Steve. He had dishonored you.
You make me rose face. In front of Harry and David, I will kill you. You have dishonored my tower of chocolate covered the popcorn.
Nick, that was just so guttural, so raw. You're
Holy crap.
If that doesn't tell you how cold it is.
I mean, it's like an alien. I
don't
swear
even-
to God,
I don't
it's
know
like
what does.
a thing from another planet.
Two sets of eyes.
Is that 2 or 3?
So to describe, just a moment. We had a number one. It just looked like a black mass that walked in through the door here, and then as this thing got closer, we realized that it's actually Pierre Robert.
I thought it was Sasquatch.
He's wearing a huge, thick, down black jacket. He has, of course, his hair flying out all over the place, and he has a huge hat on that's fuzzy, all kinds of fur all over it, which is fake, I'm sure. And then he has a pair of sunglasses, and then on top of that are a pair of spectacles, and his mouth is opening and closing.
Well, I'm trying to get a word in.
I'm just describing for the audience what we're seeing here.
He's trying to breathe.
So it's cold out.
Baby.
Yeah. I got to play that from Dean Martin later today. But I found this hat somewhere in my travels, and I go, this hat.
It was the thing that kicked your ass.
Yeah, that was bad. That was gnarly. So we had a couple of guests on the program. I would like to thank Mr. Connor Barwin. Connor's great, and his Make-A-Wish, or not Make-A-Wish Foundation, his Make the World Better Foundation.
Yeah.
Funds for this event that's coming on the 26th. It is a performance, a Philadelphia tribute to The Last Waltz. A lot of great performers on board. Nick had mentioned earlier David Wisickinen, Adam Weiner of Lokakani, Don McCluskey, who we love to death, and an entire band set up to celebrate that music and to benefit the Make the World Better Foundation. You can get tickets at axs.com. And it was great to have Peter Billingsley on this one. Of course, plays Ralphie in A Christmas Story Christmas. He's the original Ralphie from A Christmas Story, and wonderful conversation with him. And I know Steve and Casey give it the approval, so I'm going to watch that as we get a little bit closer. We're not going to the whole family sit down and check it out together. It'd be cool to catch up with those characters again. And we're going to say hi to somebody, but real quick, we need, well, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. One of our interns is leaving us, and we are saying goodbye. So we want to give some love to Emily and welcome her to the studio here for the last
so
time.
sad.
I'm bummed out that I'm not there in person to say goodbye to you, Emily.
I know. I'm so sad.
Yeah. We have a great group of interns. We haven't had like a full group for a while because obviously COVID and all the things that were, and with that and limited numbers of staff members, we didn't have an internship program that was in person. They were all working at home, and some people we never actually got to meet, which sucks. But this group that we have now, they're great. It's so cool to have students back. And speaking of that, Emily, where do you go to school?
I go to Westchester, and I'll be graduating a year early in May.
Wow.
A year early?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
How did that happen?
I just took extra classes, and some classes from high school transferred over.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh, you're a smarty pants.
Right.
Yeah.
I would not say all that.
So they probably refer to you as the new Kathy Romano over there, right?
I did not. No, I went 4.5 years.
Kathy did it the other way.
I enjoyed my time there very much. I did not want to leave. We contemplated going another semester. We were like, are there any other classes maybe we could just like throw in and stay for another semester?
Sure, yeah.
Emily, do you go to Jake's? Is that a place for you to hit?
So I commute, so I'm not really up there that much.
And are you even 21 yet?
No.
Wow, not even 21. She's finishing early.
That.
She's got all the drive that you left to
Oh my God,
Jake's.
she totally could have used my Dawn Durr ID because it looks like her.
There you go.
Dawn Durr, that was the name.
Yeah, we talked about this. Yes, Dawn Durr. It was a real ID. Girl lost it. My boyfriend at the time picked it up, handed it to me. He was like, "This, you can totally pass for this." And I used it for a really long time before I got it taken away.
You were Dawn Durr.
I was Dawn Durr until the bouncer at the Rat took it from me.
Oh man.
Ding, dirty, darn.
Ding, dirty.
That could be a Christmas miracle question.
Yes.
Right there. Dawn Durr. So Emily, by the way, so what's your major? What do you want to do career wise if you have a choice soon?
So I am in communications, maybe production. I'm interested in that.
Did you enjoy the exposure to it here with working on the show and everything?
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was a great experience. You guys are amazing.
Aww. Oh, thank you. And we have such a warm, comfortable green room for you to sit in, too.
It's so
right?
goddamn cold.
She's colder than me.
Yes. She's like freezing all the time.
All the time.
I met her mom and dad at the food trucks and fireworks event, and they were really cool. They seemed to be very proud of you.
Thank you.
I can't believe you graduated in 3 years. Like, who told
you to do that?
Now you have to be a big girl.
I mean, honestly, like
She's
if
got
I could
drive.
if I could do it all over again, I would do what Nick did.
Yeah, the 7-year plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at me now.
Yes. Yeah. Without question.
That's
Yeah,
pretty wild.
absolutely.
God.
All right, Emily, anything you want to leave with as we send you off into the wild?
Nope. Just thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Let's hear for Emily, guys.
Hey.
How
Great group of people, man.
Absolutely. And I think everyone came in to wish her farewell today, all the other interns. Even people not working today.
Yeah. Eric is here.
Yeah, Marissa was saying it's a tight group.
Yes.
So that's awesome. Good for them. I love it.
Here's the deal. Did I ever call you Nicole to your face, by the way, Emily? I did.
She said yes.
Oh, my God.
I know your name's Emily. You just maybe look like a Nicole or something? I don't know. All right, so my bad, Press. I was calling her Nicole. I pulled a you.
No, and oddly enough, I knew her name. I corrected you.
What the hell's
That
going
was
on
bizarre.
here?
Something's happening here.
I actually think this semester Preston knows all of the interns' names.
I do.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Very dynamic.
Yep. I know Emily and Gina and oh God damn it.
Oh, come on.
No, you got it.
It was
Come on.
great.
Annie.
Yeah.
And the dude.
You know it.
Dude.
Eric.
It's Eric, right?
Sancho.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't forget Sasha. You forgot all about Sasha?
Shut up.
For a second.
No, nope.
That is really
This
good
time-
for you, though.
That's very good for me.
Excellent.
Very
That
good.
shows you how memorable they are and how hard they are, and the work they put in and the camp out. They really helped a great deal, and they
Yep, most
continue
definitely.
to.
Yep. Let's see. We need Tat Tuesday. We got to
Yes,
get a
it
winner
is.
for that. So let's announce our winner. I do not have that info, but Casey does.
I do, and our winner is Mauricio Senek. And Mauricio is from Deptford, and they have won. I don't know, Mauricio. Is that a guy? Do you think?
Quite possibly.
Mauricio. Okay.
Mary Jo. Mauricio. Peugeot.
What if it's Mary Jo?
What if it's Mauricio?
How does it spell?
Marijo.
Yeah, that's Mary.
Could be
They
Mary
will
Jo.
work just
No,
fine.
Is it Mary Jo?
Mary Jo.
Okay.
Mauricio.
So,
Mauricio.
hang on. In my defense, the J is lowercase.
Dude, listen, it's Connor's handwriting. I see it all the time.
Mauricio.
I'm backing you up on that, brother.
Mauricio. Ah, Mauricio. Come and see Daddy. Got some vino for you. Eh?
Well, Mary Jo, you won a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. Tat Tuesday on the Preston and Steve Show, presented by Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, 1729 South Street in Philadelphia.
Was it the Bronx Tale? Wasn't he Colgeron or something like that was his name? Yeah, Mauricio Colgeron.
Yeah. You'll
All
see.
right. Did I see Pierre Robert saunter into the studio?
Oh, yes. I was here yesterday, but Casey told me not to come in because you had the COVID.
It was wise.
The bid.
Yes, he was
The
here on
bid.
time and ready to go. But but now we're safe today, so you're good to go.
I'm not worried. I wasn't worried yesterday. I had my 4th vaccine. But are you feeling okay, Mr. P?
Yeah, I feel fine. Rochelle is kind of getting the hit with chest congestion and really nasty cough, but I think it's coming and going pretty quick. Although I found out, so Dr. Mike has given me some medication so that I wouldn't end up with the long COVID, which can definitely happen. But have you ever taken a medication that gives you a metallic taste in your mouth before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I took it, hours ago, and then like an hour or so ago, I'm like, why do I have this? Tastes like I'm sucking on pennies or something like that.
Right. It's you'll
And I
be
realized
singing Slayer songs soon.
I will.
Yeah, metallic, heavy metal.
Metallic.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
I got it. Okay. Yes. But anyhow, I feel fine. This is kind of like it's a day off of school. I mean, I got to. We did work, but it's I got to walk down the stairs and not have to drive. And I'm wearing pajama pants.
Wow, I love that.
It's a beautiful thing. So,
beautiful thing.
All in all, hasn't been bad at all. So we should do the letter of the day. Let's get to it.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
A as in astonishing.
Excellent. We have one more letter to go, as it is a very short work week this week. So we'll give away the prize tomorrow, which is a $250 gift code to squeezed.com, the best juice cleanse on the market. Feel great, lose weight, look better. 20% off site-wide this week, by the way. Use the code Black Friday, and you can receive 2 vegan meals. That is squeezed.com. So like I said, we'll give that away tomorrow. What do you have planned for today, sir?
Lots of stuff, actually. First of all, Alicia Vitarelli is going to be coming in around 11:30 to talk about the 6 ABC Thanksgiving Day Parade, which is a long-standing tradition, now in its 103rd year. I think it's the oldest in the country, if not the closest to it. But she's so fun and so in tune with so many things that are happening in the city, so she'll be joining us. We have some fine workforce blocks, including Weezer and Pearl Jam in excess. Tickets for that final Hooters show for next May, which went on sale last Friday. And a little plug for Thursday's Thanksgiving program, which we will do. Pancake and I will be here on Thanksgiving. Alice's Restaurant at 10 a.m., 12 noon, and 2 p.m., and many other things.
How many versions of Alice's this year?
Well, 2 versions. The standard version, which will play off of a CD at 10. Then at noon, I have the 25th anniversary version, which is even longer, which is great.
That's my dad's favorite one because of the Nixon reference.
There's this
terrific.
great Nixon reference in which he claims... Arlo claims that the missing 18 minutes of the Watergate tape was actually Alice's Restaurant. The way he constructs it is absolutely brilliant, and it's very funny. And then on vinyl, the original version at 2 p.m., and again, much more.
This
over the course of the
incredible tradition that people just look forward to. Gotta have it.
I think it may be the only day some people, many people, in fact, listen to my show. I've told you guys this before, but, I'll be in a Wawa, dude, it'll be July. Dude, your Thanksgiving show is amazing. And I'll go, dude, I'm on tomorrow. Yeah, that's fine. But, your Thanksgiving show, dude, but I've got a block of AC/DC coming up tomorrow. Yeah, it's fine. But, hey, the Thanksgiving show, man.
It's not a backwards compliment, though. It's terrific radio, and I'll be down in Southern Virginia, but I love tuning in on the app. It is a great program, so I'm looking forward to listening to it again this year.
Pierre, that promo that you have, the Welcome Home promo, does that run now, or is that at Christmas? When that
No,
hits?
I run it at any appropriate time during the year.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really
I actually
cool.
get a little teary-eyed, and it's special. It's a short thing, and it's Pierre doing this this wonderful message with some great clips of music behind it. I love hearing that.
Thank you so much. I had that idea a while ago, and because prior to us being on the app and being able to be listened to all around the country at any given time, a lot of people would report that they really felt home when, particularly driving, they would get in reach of the frequency, and it would be staticky at first, and then all of a sudden it comes in clear. And even if they're in Allentown or 100 miles away, if they're picking it up, now we're home. We're hearing MMR. Yeah. But, you're home wherever you're tuning into us, but we welcome you home. And lots of people are either getting ready to leave to go somewhere or to come here. So nice to have you.
Excellent. Case, you're going to have to thank our sponsors for the day for me, please.
Yes. Today's show has been brought to you by Family Company Jewelers. Fill her stocking with a gift she'll show off for all year long. From South Jersey's holiday diamond destination, Mauricio.
That was great.
It's also brought to you by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin' and Acme Markets. Fresh foods, local flavors.
All right. On tomorrow's program, we wrap out the broadcast week. We'll go live on Fox Good Day. It's a Wednesday, so we'll usually have a secret text for a prize. And I would love to make this a tradition. Yeah. But he would have to be in town every time. But Big J Okerson is going to come by. Tomorrow. That'd be a great day before Thanksgiving tradition to start this year because we love spending time with Big J. So he'll be joining us, and we'll wrap up the week and get you ready for Thanksgiving. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you tomorrow, Fred.